With no measuring, no mess, and 60 cocktails to choose from, she can enjoy her favorites anytime in under 30 seconds. That's Bartesian. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartesian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom.
Get ready for fun family gatherings by replacing your old windows and doors with beautiful designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, they're customizable. Choose from a variety of styles and finishes to match your home's aesthetic, with each product custom built to fit your home's exact specifications. James says installation went smoothly. Installers polite and professional and hardworking. Take advantage of Renewal by Andersen's 1 month only sale. $300 off all windows, $825 off patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Bonus offer. First 50 callers get a free TrueScene screen upgrade. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
It's Ram Truck Month, where right now at your local Ram dealer, well-qualified current Chevrolet, Ford, or GMC lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x2 for $369 a month for 42 months with $3,999 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. No turn-in of competitive vehicle required. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 4/30/25.
Insurance companies often play tough, offering you the bare minimum for your injuries. But why settle for less? With me, Mo DeWitt, your Orlando injury attorney, you pay nothing unless we win. Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Baseball is all about stepping up to the plate when it matters most. And when you've been injured, you need a heavy hitter in your corner. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got questions after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, CASH, C-A-S-H, CASH. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. Lots to get to today. From where in the world is Elon Musk? to Bill Belichick's friends stage an intervention and our empty store shelves headed our way. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's
happening? And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us what we call a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday.
Share that show. Share that show.
This means you share the show. It's as easy as that, right? I mean, it's right in the name. You take a link to the live stream, you send it over to a friend, you tell somebody about the podcast who might listen to podcasts. You just spread the word about the News Junkie radio show, and you shall be appreciated on this Share the Show Tuesday. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Good. Thought it was Monday until now.
Oh, well, yeah, it was Monday yesterday. We've made it one day further.
Thank you
and
for that.
Now we've got a short run here for you, at least. Birthday week, taking off a Monday.
I mean, I needed it. I'll tell you that much.
What'd you do, though? Did you do nothing because you were recuperating, or did you actually make use of your day?
Well, I did have to go back to the place of party, and I got
scene of the
there
crime.
around 9:30. And it turns out when it's complete darkness, it's quite a surprise the next morning. When you see how much is left.
Oh, no.
So Butchie and I, and a big shout out to him for letting me use his house. We had a very fun clean-up day together where we drank the booze that was left and cleaned up all the other things that were left.
That's the worst, man. I've done that after throwing parties.
We got a lot done, I'll tell you that much. But I got a second tan, without a doubt, and I was done for the count by like 3 p.m.
The biggest problem I have with stuff like that is if you drank too much, then all you smell is alcohol, and then there's just like you're picking up cigarette
And
butts or
seafood.
something, and seafood is everywhere, and you're just, oh, God.
But thank you both so much for coming to the party. And
it
your
was fun.
lovely ladies. It was a great time. I felt a lot of love that day and a lot of sun.
C-Lane didn't stay long. He ditched out on you, I heard.
He did have a baby. He did have the baby.
Oh, good. The
How
baby
long were you there,
excuse.
Sean?
The baby. I was there
Sean
for
was
like
there for a minute.
3 hours or more, maybe.
Sean was in the group of other people that wore jeans to the party.
Yeah, I mean, I was
It was a jeans section.
I was not getting in a pool in a situation like
That
that.
doesn't mean you have to wear jeans. Those two aren't related, really.
What's the matter with you guys? Why does it bother you if I wear jeans in places? Yeah.
No, I knew that you were going to wear jeans, and there was like 7 to 10 other people that wore jeans as well.
It was called the Cool Guy McGee Club, and we were
That's
we were
not the
all
sign that was on the tent.
we were wearing jeans because we were all hanging out. And by the way, I've never seen such a large gathering of radio station tents in one place.
Yes, big shout out to XL 1067 WJRR, and I think there was just a standard iHeartRadio tent.
Did you just take the keys to all the vans?
No, I asked permission, and thank God for that, because my God, was the sun out that day.
Yeah, we needed them for sure. Yeah, that was definitely an issue.
It was a great time, and this is 35.
It was. Yeah, happy birthday. How do you feel? Do you feel 35 or no?
I do feel 35. I feel more 35 today than I have the other days because I am exhausted.
Oh, well, you know what? We'll cruise through today. We'll have an easy show here. Before you know it,
Also,
we'll be
anyone
done.
need a bottle of Jameson? Because I got 15 of those for my birthday.
know, this is a problem that happens. Like, you remember how I used to get Captain Morgan for everything because people thought I liked Captain Morgan so much?
Yeah.
You did like Captain Morgan so much.
I didn't really, though. How many times have I had Captain Morgan in the last 4 years?
Yeah, you overdid it.
No, I love my Jameson, and I'm very grateful for all the wonderful gifts.
No, I'm
but
not
I think
saying
I need
anything
to
about
put
that.
out more about myself.
Yes,
moving forward.
that's the problem, because people go, what does she want? What does she like?
Cash.
Oh, she wants whiskey. She wants this. And then all of a sudden everybody gets you whiskey and you go, thank you. It's very nice. But, now I've got just a stockpile of this stuff. All right, let's get started. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to an old lady, which I'm presuming is in New York City. And this old lady is struggling a little bit. You get up there in the years. walking is a little more difficult. Sabrina's feeling that a little bit today.
Hey.
Sometimes you got to balance yourself on something. And she balanced herself on this guy's car, and the guy was not thrilled about it, but she was stone cold. This lady was like, big whoop, I'm leaning on your car. Here we go. All right.
Hold on, man. How you doing? I'm okay. You was touching my car.
He said, you was touching my car. She's walking around his car, putting his hand on his hood, then the side of his car, and then every step, like using his car as a walker.
Hurt it? No, you didn't hurt it. I was just wondering why you was...
Because I can't walk right.
Oh, I'm sorry about it. It's not a problem, but you did touch my car.
I'm still touching it.
Oh.
But I'll stop.
No, you good.
He said, damn. And then she just wanders off, this lady. She goes, I'm still touching it. And what I find is happening here is there's a lot of people who get very sensitive if somebody, like, if a hand touches the car, you know what I mean? Like on the hood, on the trunk, if a hand just touches it anywhere. And I do, but I'm going to put it out there. Old people pass. I think it's okay. If some old person is hobbling, trying to make their way across the street.
Sure.
They need to lean in just a little bit. Don't overdo it, old people. But just a little bit. I'll give you the pass on my car, and I'll be fine with it, okay?
The condition my car is in right now, and all of the beautiful pollen of Florida, anyone can touch my car. Because it's the more people touch, the more that gets cleaned off.
Yeah, it just turns into a giant, like, handprint city across the thing, though. It becomes problematic.
I love it.
Well, now they're saying that we're going to have to gear up because with all the tariff stuff going on out there, and you can tell us how you feel about that if you really feel like it, but there's going to be
I don't think anybody really feels like it. Who likes talking about that?
Tariff talk's kind of over with. I don't know if I want to chit-chat about the tariffs, but now they're talking about, is there about to be a squeeze? Is there a squeeze about to take place? There are some very interesting things happening. One thing is people think there's going to be empty stores or empty shelves at the grocery store, and the freighters and all the shipping companies who may be vested in certain ways, they are saying, like, you're going to start to see things that aren't available at your Target, at your Walmart, at your grocery store. You're going to start to see those things, especially from overseas, that you're not able to get a hold of. And then people also want to shift the blame. Like, I don't know if you guys caught this, but apparently Amazon has decided how they're going to deal with the tariff situation. And it's kind of wild, all right? Interesting, though. Interesting way to throw around their weight. Amazon is going to not only show the cost of items on the website and the app.
Interesting.
What the tariffs are adding to that price, okay? So, like, when you're on Amazon, it'll say, like, this item is $199.95. And then in red, it'll be like tariff fees have been this much.
Wow.
Over the course of time or whatever.
So whereas usually if you're getting a deal on something, say like my wife was on Wayfair last night doing some furniture shopping for our guest room that we really haven't done anything with, and she finds a bed that looks awesome, and they have the full price, like $995.99, right? Crossed out. Because it's 80% off, grayed out and crossed out, and here's your new price. Instead of that price being much higher, the crossed out price will be lower, and here's what you really have to pay because of X tariff.
It's the reverse of the deals that you see inside a superstore. Like price. What do they say? Prices are falling at Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
And then put the new thing in front of it. This will be the opposite. And Amazon is leveraging their weight to, I guess, kind of complain. Even though I thought Bezos was buddies with Trump, they're in a way throwing a bit of a protest, or at least that's what it seems like to me. What do you think about Amazon doing this, showing the tariffs and how much they're going to be increasing the prices? Let us know what you think with an email or a dispatch today on the show. Let's go to the White House.
You could make an argument that doing that would cause people to seek out things with less tariff, because they're more domestic.
Yeah, that's true. But the only thing I wonder about this, because a lot of people, Tanya's saying on YouTube, I agree with it. MFQ says, I love it. Show the people price transparency. In another way, though, isn't it a way for Amazon to kind of push off price increases?
Hell yeah.
Because there's always tariffs involved in stuff that's on Amazon. There's always, for like whatever location they're in, there's always tariffs that are involved. And it's super benefits Amazon to be able to sell all these Chinese goods for, bottom basement prices and wipe out American business. And it's easy to kind of look at this and go, hey, let's dunk on Trump and let Amazon get the W over the Trump administration for tariffs. But on the other hand, isn't this a company some of you lefties hated quite a bit 5 seconds ago? Like, now you're like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm rooting them on. But 5 seconds ago, you were like, Amazon is the behemoth that murders all American companies and stifles innovation. And I go, hey, I don't know. How do you feel about this? And let's see what the White House was saying. Here we go.
It was reported this morning that Amazon will soon
let me bump this.
A little number next to
Bump
the
it up,
price
buddy.
of each product that shows how much.
I'm going to go back because you couldn't hear that. He's talking about what Amazon's doing.
So it was reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect, crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
I will take this since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years?
So she said this is a hostile act. Why didn't Amazon do this under Biden? Why didn't you do this before? And going against, what Amazon's doing here. No big surprise. Like, of course, the White House is going to be against this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would blow my mind if they were like, we actually support this. No, they're going to hate it.
Is there a timeline, you think, where they stop blaming Biden administration for everything? Because that's now a go-to phrase.
I don't know. This doesn't seem like they're blaming the Biden administration as much as they're trying to call out hypocrisy here. But no, the answer is no. The answer is no. There's probably not going to be a dateline where they stop blaming Biden. And that's not completely unheard of. It kind of happens with administrations when you pop somebody out. Biden did that for a while, too. Now we got Trump just pissed off, though. He's mad, and he's mad about Amazon, and he's mad about what they're doing. And to the credit of the Biden administration, they didn't get into the tariff war. So you couldn't exactly go like, hey, here's what Amazon's going to do for the Biden tariffs. He didn't do this. He didn't make this move. So I don't think it's as comparable. Like, what were they going to put? Inflation numbers on Amazon? That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
I think that's what Levitt's saying.
I know, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, they wouldn't. I wouldn't even expect that they would do this, but they definitely wouldn't do that. Let's go back to him.
But also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
All right, so their answer to all of this is why you should buy made in America. Buy made in America, which I agree. I like made in America. I don't know about you guys. I don't like made in the USA seems good. Hire some Americans, employ them. But it doesn't seem as easy as that. It doesn't seem like you could just go, all right, buy American now. Like certain products, I don't even think you could get them if you wanted to. You have, there's so many companies and so many products that are made in China, in India, in all these other countries around the world.
Or products being made in America that need imported parts.
Of course, yeah. Which still gets impacted by this in a lot of cases.
Like the little tags that say made in America. I think those were made in China.
Sometimes. The American flags, the Trump hats, sometimes these are made overseas. Let me just see if they're doing it yet. I'm going to click on just something random here. All right, here's a power supply backup thing. And right now it says the price, the typical price. All right. There doesn't appear to be anything added just yet that talks about.
Add it to your cart.
You think it'll add it there?
Add it to your
cart.
No. Add it to your cart.
I'm not doing it. Let me see. Hold on. Amazon tariff. Okay. Well, let's see what they're saying about when they're going to add this. Amazon pours cold water on the report. Oh, they're saying, hold on. Hit the brakes, folks. Amazon is telling Fortune it's denying this report, saying they would show this, even though the White House was coming down on them. The Punchbowl report said Amazon planned to show the impact of tariffs right next to the product's total listed price. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt interrupted, and she called it a hostile political act. You just heard that. But Amazon spokesperson Ty Rogers said the company has only considered such a move. Okay, so they haven't hit the gas on doing this just yet.
Oh, and that they're only going to do it in that new like cheap section.
Okay.
Of Amazon.
Yeah, this says a Temu-like section of the shopping
What was that
site.
called again?
Amazon Haul?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I love a good haul.
The team that runs our ultra-low-cost Amazon Haul store has considered the idea of listing import charges on certain products. They discuss ideas all the time. This was never a consideration for the main Amazon site, and nothing has been implemented on any Amazon properties.
Well, that was over far too quick. I thought that was a fun idea for a second there.
Oh, so was that bus that you can get stuff at, right?
Well, they're not saying they're not going to do it. They're just saying they haven't done it yet. And if they did do it, they were going to do it on that Amazon Haul site. They said the move would be a reaction to the end of a longstanding trade loophole known as de minimis, which allows overseas companies to ship merchandise under $800 to U.S. customers without having to pay duties. That's what's crushing like your Temus, your what's the other one? What's the other company?
Alibaba.
Alibaba. Your things where you used to import stuff from China very cheaply. They're getting hit with some of these things now. So let us know what you think. Should Amazon do that? Should other companies do that? We've heard of restaurants adding fees and stuff when things get more expensive, adding bills to your bill to make things a little costlier. How do you feel about this with tariffs? Let us know.
We're going to need you to pay the bill.
We got the bill, and then the bill, and then the tariff bill right after that. Real quick, an email coming in, and I'll put this in front of the email. We were talking yesterday, and I said, I think a lot of people who don't have teenage kids don't realize how common it is right now, how common it is for parents to provide alcohol for teenage kids at parties under the guise of we're doing this so they can safely party here. We could keep an eye on them. We know they're going to do it anyways. We know they're not going to drive. You know, all those things that you hear. I said, this is more common now than it probably ever has been. Anonymous emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. So I heard your segment about parents allowing drinking at their homes because it keeps them safe. However, I don't know if safety is the actual case here. I don't have kids, but I've been best friends with a couple that allows their daughters, friends, and boyfriends to come over and smoke weed and drink with us, and it's fine. This started when they were 16 years old, and now they're around 20. We hang out and watch movies with them every weekend, and on their birthdays, throw big parties. We have the greatest time. They're good people and don't do stupid things. Shrug, says Anonymous.
So wait, what's Anonymous getting at?
Anonymous is saying, we don't party with these kids who they started as teenagers drinking and smoking with them because we want to keep them safe. We're doing it because they're cool.
Okay.
It says because they're good people and don't do stupid things. We have the greatest time. We hang out and watch movies with them, blah, blah, blah. All right.
Isn't the whole point of it, like, that's how they learn to not do stupid things?
I would think that it's a better argument to say you're trying to keep the teens safe than to just be like, they are party animals and we dig them. That seems
actually
like
pretty cool. And they have fire weed.
It seems like a weirder excuse to use. Okay, it's out there. Chime in on it. Let us know what you think. Dispatches, emails, all of that good stuff. We'll get to the 100 men versus one gorilla thing that's just taking over the internet for some reason today. Also, we'll talk about Bill Belichick. We had him yesterday on the show, and his 20-something-year-old, 24-year-old girlfriend was intervening during an interview on CBS. Now we have even more details about what happened during that interview. It gets wilder, and his friends are reportedly staging an intervention, which seems pretty weird as well. All of that coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
There's a crash where Colonial Drive meets Hiawassee Road, an accident off to the shoulder on Florida's Turnpike northbound before State Road 408. Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on I-4 eastbound near US 92. There's an earlier accident on International Speedway Boulevard near Clark Bay Road. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. The 2025 FIFA Club World Cup is coming to Orlando this summer for a global showdown. Experience world-class soccer as football legends collide at Camping World and Ender & Co Stadium. Don't just watch history, be part of it. Get your tickets now at FIFA.com/tickets. That's FIFA.com/tickets.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Premier Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit, call now. 407-337-5569.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention.
Go, Mike. Hello. Lady, get out of here.
But
Lady.
he is 10 years younger.
Oh, really?
No kids.
Does that mean he's younger than me?
No. 'Cause she is 45.
Yeah, so that would make him
Oh, yeah.
35.
He's younger than you.
He's almost younger than you.
He's like my age.
Yeah. Okay, lady. No, you don't get a Cheeto all the time, okay? What a beggar. Look at her.
Yeah, she looks adorable.
No, it's pathetic. Pathetic. Okay, come on, dude. Fine, you win.
See? She broke you.
How many you want? The whole thing? You want the whole thing? Okay, we'll do one. One cheese puff. Okay. Sit. Lay down. Up. Spin. Spin. Lay down. Come on. Cheeto. Oh no! Go get it! Oh man, that sucker was crunchy. Okay, I gotta go.
Alright.
Guys, go, 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 I gotta go. There's a show to do. Oh, gross. I'm gonna throw up in here.
And then celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Listen commercial free. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Beatles Now and Then, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio. GMC Sierra trucks in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, CASH. C-A-S-H. Cash. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the
here. Just taking some interesting turns. We'll get into the latest drama about Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend. That's going to end beautifully, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We'll get into all the details. Join us on the show with what we call a dispatch. Record yours over at thenewsjunkie.com. Sabrina, I don't know if you saw this, but we talked about it on the show yesterday where the Patriots coach, very, very famous, Bill Belichick.
Yes.
He storied coach, won many, many Super Bowl victories. And
we've talked about him in the past, especially when he first started dating his new love.
Yeah.
That looks like his
granddaughter. Yeah. She's very young compared to him. There's about a 50-year age gap. He is 73 years old, Bill Belichick is. And his girlfriend, who they're calling a runaway train,
choo-choo,
is 24 years old. And yesterday I was talking about how this is going to be a problem for him. Like, I could see this being a problem down the line. But so many people right now who are near Bill Belichick are clearly inexperienced in this. And I'm going to...
Dating younger women?
Well, we'll go around here on the show and see where you guys are at on this. But Sabrina, we'll start with you.
Yeah.
Have you ever known somebody who was in a relationship and the person that they were with was absolutely bad for them, but you knew you had to kind of disarm a bomb there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite a lot of people.
Okay, you've been there. C-Lane, have you been in that same position at some point in time?
Almost definitely.
Okay. All right. So everybody's kind of been in this position where somebody's dating somebody, you go, but I can tell you from experience.
I've probably been the person, too.
Oh, absolutely. I think the three of us could all name one of ours.
Probably. But you know as well as I do that trying to disarm that bomb is not an easy thing to do. You're better off just leaving it alone. Just let the person be with the person that they're not meant to be with, and it'll all sort itself out in the end.
Well, sort itself out is a very loose term. There are certainly lessons that are to be learned, but you can only say it so many times, and that person is not going to see it until that relationship is over, but at least you didn't not say anything. Like I've said something once and I'm like, okay, that's where I put it and I'm here and I'm your friend, but that's not, I am no longer going to be involved.
I think over the years I've kind of learned I don't say anything. I don't say anything about that, because if you do, and then they get back together, it makes things even weirder. And number one, I don't know how effective that is. Like, if you're in a relationship and you really like the person you're with, you're not seeing the bad. And therefore, when all your friends start going against you, you might turn internally and get closer with this person that you're dating that they don't like to begin with.
Out of like a defense mechanism.
Kinda. Yeah, I think. I mean, just approaching people like this where you go, hey, you really sure you want to date her? This seems like a bad idea. They go, what business is it of yours? I'm able to do this. And I'll tell you, even though it seemed crazy that she was interrupting his interview, that she was, jutting out and imposing herself on what was happening there with what was going down. Bill Belichick is a grown-ass man. He has agency. If he didn't want to be in this situation, he could be out of it in 5 seconds. I'm not going to shed tears for him. That's his business, man. That's his business. But they said his friends are currently trying to stage an intervention to get him to leave this Jordan Hudson girl who's just 24 years old when he's 73. Are they
going to do it after she goes to bed because she has school the next morning so early?
After she gets done with her cheerleading tryouts, which was one of the last things they said.
I missed those jokes.
Jordan Hudson went completely off the rails during the CBS interview to the point, and we didn't know this before now, to the point where she stormed out of the room and delayed shooting of the interview for 30 minutes, sources say. Belichick had agreed to do a sit-down with Tony Dokoupil of CBS Mornings to promote his new book, The Art of Winning, but it turned into an L, at least PR-wise, when his 24-year-old girlfriend interrupted the interviewer, asking Bill how they met, so she stopped him at that point in time. We're told outside of the baffling moment that made the final edit, there were numerous other instances of Hudson butting in. Even when the legendary coach was answering questions about football, she would stop and correct him. So, she's on the sidelines, if you will, of the interview, and way more than we heard, which, C-Lane, We were suggesting this yesterday because of the way they worded things when they said this was one of many interruptions.
Oh, they didn't even say interruptions. They said she was very... Oh, gosh, what was the word? It was a very, middle of the road kind of thing where, she was very present or something during this interview. Yeah, she made her presence very known.
Here it is. I have the report from CBS Sunday Morning.
Jordan was a constant presence.
That's it. Yeah, here it is.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there.
She's sitting at the table over here. It's so funny to be still. I keep seeing all these zoomed in shots of her at the table, like,
By the way,
ChatGPTing her responses.
If she
Make me
wasn't
sound more like an adult.
If she wasn't off to the side watching this on a monitor, and perhaps even there might even be a microphone pointed to her direction just because they knew this was going on. This is a terrible camera shot. This is an awful camera shot. It's only turned this direction because they're like, oh, she's going to be an issue.
That is an excellent point. They had probably a handful of cameras aimed up for this shoot. Why on earth would they have a camera focused on the person who's in the back of the shot that has nothing to do with the interview, unless they said, this bitch is annoying. Let's put it in the interview that she keeps interrupting and that she's over here at this little table behind the...
When you stage up interviews like this, typically it's a 2-camera shoot. You don't have the lighting stands visible in the shot.
No. I mean,
this was a pivot.
Yeah,
this was on purpose. This is an intentional shot. You're right about that. This is an intentional shot because of how annoying she was being on the set that day. And it said, we're told outside of that, she would stop and correct him. Our sources say Belichick arrived at the interview with Hudson. Nobody from his publishing company was with him. Nobody from the University of North Carolina. No other rep was with him, which was a bit of a head scratcher to CBS producers. That's not that weird. People can go in by themselves. At one point in the Q&A, Hudson, that's his 24-year-old girlfriend, got so heated, she stood up and walked out, and she wanted Bill Belichick to follow her.
Babe.
It's unclear if the coach agreed, but the blow-up delayed the whole interview for about half an hour. We're told once things calmed down, the person who was spooked by the whole encounter elected to wrap things up quickly and end the awkward experience. As for how the dumpster fire of an encounter got edited, we're told the higher-ups at CBS and sports had to get involved to figure out how to salvage the interview. And the only way they thought we can make something out of this interview was to take a shot at them while doing it. The whole ordeal isn't sitting well with Bill's employers. We're told folks at UNC are now concerned about his girlfriend's influence on Bill Belichick's tenure as the head football coach at Chapel Hill.
Love is love, guys.
Especially with her taking on the role, essentially, as his manager. As a source put it, this is a growing sense that this is going to be a huge problem.
It sounds like she has an ill none out of me.
It sounds like Bill Belichick is an adult, right? Is this a dumb move? Yes, this is a dumb move.
But he's an adult who has also had decades of adultness.
He's able to make these decisions if he wants to. He is an adult who I firmly believe is like swooning over being with a young, youthful woman who is making him feel alive. And he in his 70s wants to feel that way.
Yeah,
and he doesn't care. He doesn't.
Submissive era. I'm getting the vibe.
I think so. And also,
you think he's embarrassed by stuff like this?
I don't think embarrassed. I think he likes it. He's been his entire career is telling people what to do, and now he has this young hottie who's telling him what to do.
Hold on, let me see. Does he have an Instagram? Does Bill Belichick have an Instagram?
I bet they have a shared Instagram.
Oh, an email too,
Billy
right?
And Babe.
Be like both of them in the email address. All right, he doesn't post much of her, if any, on his Instagram, but he doesn't post much on his Instagram.
Do you think that's him?
It could be somebody else. It's like the book and like some family type stuff that he's posting. Not a lot of that. Her name, which is what, Jordan Hudson. Jordan Hudson. He's doing a good job getting her name out there. She posts on her Instagram featuring him, obviously. And I've seen them at the beach with each other. Oh, here's them fishing together, and he caught her as a mermaid. Oh, what happened to their photo? Hang on. Right here. This is them. Oh, Sorry, doesn't want to show it. There's a giant scandal
We
going
have
on
to
here.
subscribe.
Instagram is busting me out here. Unbelievable.
Wait, let's rephrase that.
Instagram. Okay, there it is. Now I've got it. It's a photo shoot where she is a mermaid on the beach, and he's like fishing, catching the mermaid.
Oh gosh, could you imagine being at the same beach and seeing this go down?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just
like,
influencers in the wild style.
I think that's a private or public beach. Let's be honest.
Billy boy, what are you doing? Come on now. And look, even this was posted 25 weeks ago, and the top comment is from 2 days ago. It says from Susie D. I watched the CBS News Sunday morning interview. Something bothered me. And while I normally wouldn't, I had to speak up. When Bill was asked how the two of you met, you were not kind or humble with your statement. Your face was also saying a lot and not in a good way. The reporter was just doing his job, and it wasn't you being interviewed. I don't understand the need to be rude. Disappointed, says some random lady online. Folks, he's going to do what he's going to do here. You're not going to bust and go, well, you're making a bad decision about. He's in his 70s. He's not going to learn from any of this. He's just going to have fun. And it's fine. It's honestly fine. If he's having fun and she's having fun and everybody's in agreement and they're consenting adults and this is their relationship, who cares? You shouldn't care.
No one has to be involved. However,
it's a bad idea, though.
They're
It's
inviting
real
a lot
bad
of
idea.
people to be involved and talk about it.
Yeah.
Did you see that Bill Belichick commented on it? My biggest catch.
What did he?
That's so
he
embarrassing.
commented on the same post. I thought he responded to the lady.
No.
Now, riddle me this. They always talk about, like, after a certain age, if you have kids, like, you want to be able to run with your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you have more energy to run with your kids or run around with the new girlfriend you have that's 45 years younger than you?
I think he's not thinking about his kids right now. I think he's out there mermaid hunting.
Aren't
And
his
he's
kids
gone.
older than his girlfriend?
Oh, they
Probably.
must be. Yeah, they just kind of have to be. Other people were dunking on her on this thread, too.
Oh, yeah.
Saying it was really nasty. She could have just sweetly said, that's private, and I'd prefer not to discuss it. It wasn't even her interview. She looked miserable, nasty, hateful, condescending. Simply put, who is she? Oh,
She's the
haters.
mermaid that he caught.
The haters coming out in full force. Now let's flip it. How would people feel if this was, let's say, Madonna? Madonna's doing an interview with CBS Sunday Morning, and she's got her 26-year-old boyfriend
Cher
who's
has
off to the side.
Very young boyfriend as well.
Either her, you could swap anybody out, but let's say, Madonna's sitting there and this boyfriend's on the side, and the boyfriend keeps intervening in an interview just like this. Is it going to get a reaction?
Yeah.
Probably, right?
I don't know if either of them would have someone like that would speak up louder than they are, because they're both very showy people. Bill Belichick,
What?
I can't say, has been a extrovert when it comes to being a public figure.
I mean,
all the
he's
things
a
you know
leader.
him from is leader, absolutely, but it's not like crazy interviews or here's the cool little video we've done or outspoken in that sense. Like, he's been coach.
Yeah.
And now he's getting this new limelight because of the what seems to be outspoken extrovert style, very much younger than him girlfriend.
Well, that's why I would go to your theory that you said before a whole lot more than that. I would go to, this is a man who has had to make every decision in his life on the most insane of topics for a very long time. And he's like, are you kidding me? Is somebody else grabbing the wheel? I'm in my 70s.
Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen.
I'm going to go for it. And I would, if I was to say something to Bill Belichick, I would go, buddy, just understand where this is headed. Understand that this is an untenable thing probably, and it's going to end badly. But otherwise, if everybody's consenting and this is the relationship you guys want to be in, congrats.
Love
Have a
is
good
love is
time.
love is love is love.
One of Bill Belichick's kids is 37 and is also already a coach, like a side coach in the NFL.
Damn. Yeah. So what do you think? And what would you do, or what have you done even better, if you've had friends who have been in a relationship with somebody you thought they shouldn't be with, somebody that you thought was really bad for them? How did you approach that? How did you disarm that bomb? Because Bill Belichick's friends could say all they want. They're like, we've got to stop this. We're going to have an intervention. It ain't going to work if he's happy and he doesn't care about this. It's just not going to do anything. It's going to alienate you. Give us your thoughts. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. When we return, a cruise ship fight went down, and you will be blown away. Blown away, I say, when you find out what cruise line this went down on. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. Classic alternative.
For today, we are going to be expecting a couple of hit and miss showers, mainly just before lunchtime, about a 10 to 20% chance of those. As we head over the course of this afternoon, though, we are going to be expecting drier conditions to unfold. Temperatures not as hot either, with highs right around the middle 80s for this afternoon. As we head throughout the rest of this week, though, we'll be expecting dry and hot conditions with temperatures nearing.
Go, Mike. How are you, folks? Happy Share the Show Tuesday. I almost thought it was Monday for a second. It's not. Have you ever had a friend like this, though? Have you had somebody who was dating somebody and you go, oh, God, this is a bad idea? I think you just got to let them fail. I think you got to let them fail and then be supportive of your friend. I know it can be tempting to think that, like, getting involved and breaking them up is somehow a better idea, but I just don't think it is. I think you try to be supportive, and then afterwards when it goes south, you go, don't worry, man, you help them move on. What's up, Alicia? Hello. Hey, Tanya. Hey, James. One hell of a punk rock show says, watch him lose everything. Like what? What? I mean, at this point in time, I think that he is pretty financially secured. I think he could lose his coaching job or whatever and probably not care that much. You guys, you have to think about this. If you're 75, what are you hoping for? God willing, 10, 15... Crazyland, 20 more years. And if you could spend 10 of those years with somebody that you find to be exciting, then why wouldn't you do it? That's where he's at. He's spent almost 75 years playing football. He's done all of that. He's won all of those things. He's done all of that. Now he wants to fool around with a 24-year-old. Russell says she could be after his money. And who do you blame in those situations? If some guy like him has some 20-year-old come into their lives and they don't make smart decisions and somebody takes their money, don't be dumb. I can't protect dumb people from everything. I can't protect people from going to psychics and losing half their savings. I can't help people from all these things. Just don't be dumb. Have you tried not being dumb? CEK says, I wonder if Katy Perry is appreciating this. Well, it's got people not talking about her. The thing that sucks is people are just fired up to be mega mean. And so Bill Belichick's girlfriend is going to get a fire hose of just nasty ass people. Just nasty ass people. And I say, what if Bill Belichick wants that? What if Bill Belichick is like, this is how I want to be in a relationship? Then you shouldn't care. Nobody else should care. CBS shouldn't care. CBS did their thing. They said she's annoying as hell, so let's call her out. That's kind of fun. Philip says, what do they talk about? Philip, the answer is probably not much. My guess is that each one of them is in one wing of the house. They come together. He gets what she wants. She gets what she wants. And once they both have what they want, they move on with their day. He goes back to football or whatever. But I've seen her out on the field, like holding clipboards and like taking charge. I don't know how that's on her as much as him. Like, he could tell her in a second, stop, get out of here, go away, this is not your area, stop butting in. He has agency to say that. That's on him. Super Dave says she's not even that good looking. Well, I guess to him she is. You know? Guess to him it's working. David says, my guess is she's always on her phone even when they have sex. I don't know. I can only tell you that it seems like he's fine with it. I don't think he's some beaten down, poor man that needs to be saved or needs to be saved by his friends. I think he's a man making decisions, albeit very bad ones. But you let people make bad decisions, don't you? Some of you make bad decisions every day. You know how many bad decisions I've made? I made a couple of good ones and some bad ones. 70-year-old people don't have sex? Buddy, you have no clue. 70-year-old people are bumping. It's happening, whether you like it or not. All right, we're coming back.
Even along the fence. When it comes to your hardscapes and landscapes, the Stuff puts on a show. Roundup Dual Action products kill and prevent weeds for up to 4 months. This stuff rocks. This stuff works. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk will help you get what you need right away. And with their pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, they'll help you get back on the job fast. Just visit them at the Pro Desk. They help you save.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Share the show Tuesday. Don't forget, you can always watch us on YouTube or Twitch. And when we are live, there's a link right on top of thenewsjunkie.com, or just search for The News Junkie on YouTube and twitch.tv. If I told you there was a fight, Sabrina Sealine, on a cruise line, 24 people, and now the number has gone up. Well, let's say 24 people have been banned from this cruise line, and there was a huge brawl with dozens of people just swinging fists and going crazy. What cruise line would you say that was?
I mean, I don't want to be rude. You're just being real. I do have one that pops in my head because I've seen that they also have, it's a great time. It's a wild party. As soon as you're leaving the port, it's popping off.
Wait. Don't say it. Just keep it in your mind. Sealine, do you have an idea of what cruise line this would be when you hear that?
I don't know, because now I'm trying to think of how Sean twisting this.
Yeah, it's not going to be
what's going to be the unlikely cruise line that it would be.
Who said I'm twisting anything?
I have two unlikely cruise lines in mind.
Okay, can we do unlikely or most likely?
No, we're just going on what your guess is as to what cruise line that happened on.
I know it's wrong.
All I'm telling you, you could believe me or not believe me. I'm looking right at you right now. Here we go.
You are.
I'm telling you, there's no twists. I'm not twisting things on you. All right? Just go with your gut. There was a cruise line fight. 24 travelers have been now put on the no cruise list. They can no longer go on this cruise line or other cruise lines that are related. and there was a huge fight with dozens of people. On the count of 3, name that cruise line.
Everyone?
1, 2, 3.
Carnival.
Royal.
Sabrina's right. Carnival Cruise Line. That's the one,
I
right?
thought, yeah.
Carnival is the one that comes to mind. No shade on you, Carnival, but we have to be honest about things. When you think about Carnival, you think about a younger, drunker,
Y'all get
cheaper crowd.
They have
And-
twerking contests as they leave.
They do. Yes. Yeah. And there are 2 things that can make a cruise bad and 2 things that can make a cruise good, right? And good food is on the good side. Bad food is on the bad side. You could ruin the whole trip if you have bad food on your journey because you're kind of stuck on the cruise ship a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is poor people.
I'm sorry?
Okay. Follow me here. Poor people can make a cruise very fun. You can have a blast. But also, poor people can make a cruise a really bad time. And a lot of times what happens, I'm sorry, this doesn't tend to happen on the very, very expensive cruises as much. If you go on the cheapest cruises out there, I don't know if there's a math equation, but potential for cruise fight, PFCF, your PFCF is much
just be
higher.
PCF. Yeah, nobody puts the F, 4 in there.
Your PCF is much higher. Thank you for the correction. Your PCF is much higher on a Carnival Cruise Line ship because it's cheaper.
I don't think it's poor people. It's just more affordable. Absolutely.
You don't think poor people fight more than rich people?
No, I think rich people fight just as much, but
No
they do
way.
it with their money. You've never seen some old ass rich dude that
you don't want to say it because you think it sounds bad. You don't want to say it because you think it sounds bad.
You don't
You're
think rich
telling
people
me
fight?
I don't think rich people fight in situations like this as much as poor people.
I
No,
think anyone
I think-
who sucks at drinking fights.
I think that the propensity for, on a cheaper cruise, violence has got to be higher. Like if you have a cruise that costs $400 for a week, that is going to bring in a crowd that is more likely to fight than a cruise that costs $4,000 for a week. No question about that in my mind. You can take it wherever you want and say it sounds as bad as you want, but I just think that's a fact. The $400 cruise is going to have more fights than the $4,000 cruise. And that is just how these things work. And Carnival Cruise Line, hey, you got some great deals. Your cruise ships look nice to me. I got no problem with them, but it seems like that's where some of these fights go down. And this says video footage, or footage, as they say, of the April 26th incident appears to show a group of passengers shoving past barriers inside a terminal in Galveston, Texas. Texas, this is on you. This is your people. It went down this morning, they said on the Facebook post. The ship was returning from a Caribbean cruise with stops in Mexico and Honduras. The cause of the fight was not immediately clear. The incident occurred in the debarkation area under the authority of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. So everybody's like getting off the ship. I bet they started bunching up, and I bet people started like pushing against each other, and you're just exhausted and tired and want to get back home. Fight breaks out just like that. One person was arrested by Port Police and charged, and they did not specify what that was for, but 24 people have been put on the do not cruise list, or the do not sail list is the official name for it.
That sucks.
Question cruise people. If you know anything about the do not sail list, is that across any cruise ship, and now you can't go on a cruise ship if you mess this up?
I don't think it's like the do not fly list, but it could be.
I feel like they all talk to each other.
Let's see if AI knows. What is the do not sail list? Is it for all of the cruise lines or one of the cruise lines? Let's see what this says. Because if it's across every cruise line and all of a sudden you can't cruise, that sucks. That's a big punishment. It's like obviously very reminiscent of the do not fly list, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Do Not Sail list is a list maintained by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, containing names of ships that cannot operate due to health and safety concerns.
That's different.
Yeah, that's a different sail list then. That would be not related. This is like when you're behaving badly, the do not sail list.
No, it's like if you're sick.
No. But the one that they're talking about in this specific case on the Carnival
got
Cruise
it.
Line is something different. What do you got?
So right off the bat, we have do not sail list or ban list maintained by cruise lines that prohibits the individuals. These bans are typically issued for disruptive or illegal behavior. This list can be lifetime or for a specific duration.
Damn, lifetime.
See now, but I'm trying to figure out if they share it with each other.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks that they wouldn't, because why not take the passenger?
Well, if we think of an equivalent, Sabrina, if we think of like the theme parks, they don't do that. They like
No.
Universal can ban you, and you can still go to Disney, or Disney can ban you, you can still go to Universal, and it doesn't go back and forth. But the do not fly list, I think, is done at a level above, so that all the airlines, follow it in their Spectre. That would suck to get put on the do not sail list and not be able to cruise at all.
Cruises are so much fun.
You could have fun out there. You could be on one of these wild fight ships, the 3 a.m. pizza party fights that they have. Oh, man.
Not me.
That's a time right there.
Just grab 4 slices and go back to the room.
Yeah, for me, I'm tucking in way before that. See, I wouldn't even notice these fights because
You're going
most
to
of them
love Viking Cruise then. That is up your alley.
Most of them do happen really, really late, and then when everybody's sauced and headed back to the room for the night, and they start fighting each other for nothing. It's the whole thing. All right, we're going to take a quick break. You stew on that. Let us know what you think, what your thoughts are. We still got to get into 100 men versus one gorilla. I think everybody's take has been wrong on this so far, but we'll see if we can right the ship, so to speak. How Trump is doing, a poll talking about the first 100 days, and a whole lot more. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1.
Through that Lake Buena Vista area, there's a car stopped on the shoulder, causing congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. Keep an eye out for an object in the roadway, causing commotion on the Greenway southbound near that International Airport exit there. And just travel with caution on the roadways this afternoon. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic.
Hello? Skull Mike, can you hear me? I know that some of you are too. Hello?
Hey.
What's going on?
So this guy I guess he owns a landscape company.
My microphone's on. Is that okay?
Yeah. He has over 19,000 followers on Instagram, but his account's private. That's a lot.
Yeah.
For a landscape.
Maybe they're creating like fun.
Nothing wrong with landscapers. Maybe he does like.
Yeah, sometimes the people do the thing where like somebody's grass looks crazy and then they go in and they do it and the videos go viral. Could be that. Could be fake.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
Trying to see who this guy is.
Stop snooping. What are you, a super spy?
It's my sister.
You don't have to be a super spy. Where are you going?
Walk run.
Walk run. Don't go speeding out there.
You don't know what I do.
They'll pull you over. They'll bust you. Do me a favor?
What?
Get the fuck out of my face, please.
They're going to get sushi, and she doesn't like sushi.
Was she pretending?
I don't know, but I want to tell her to look at the menu ahead of time so she doesn't sound
Like an idiot?
complaining.
You gotta work that out beforehand.
I told her to be. I didn't tell her not to complain. What did I say? Be positive.
Be positive. Well, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love you.
Lady two.
Bye. Leave me alone now. Leave me alone. Lady two. Tell lady to get out. Bye. Where was I? Oh, yes. I know that some of you are off to the left in Crazy Town. You're unsavable, unsalvageable. Some of you are off to the right in Crazyville. Unsavable, unsalvageable. But if you can't understand that the cheaper a cruise is, the more likely there's going to be a fight, and thus poor people fight or will be involved in public fights much more often than rich people, you are crazy. You are unhinged. You are detached from reality. You just don't get it. Because trust me, if you had a cruise ship out there and it was $20,000 a ticket for a week, you wouldn't have any fights at all. You wouldn't have any fights at all. People just don't do that. You know why? Because they're not as pissed off. Rich people are not as pissed off. Money makes you angry. Makes your blood boil. You're done with your trip. You're trying to get off at the port, and somebody bumps into you, and then you're like, I've been on this poor-ass cruise the whole time. I'm not saying I'm above it. I'm just being real. Poor people cruises equals more fights. Cheaper the cruise, the more likely there is to be a fight. Okay, we're coming back.
That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN. F-U-N, FUN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
The kind of crew who types the word functioning in bold, italic, and underline.
As simple as just clicking that like button if you're watching us over on YouTube, as complicated as leaving a review if you listen to the podcast somewhere. And I saw the most adorable review yesterday. Oh, my God. Where was this review that I saw? Hang on. I'll bring it up for you guys because Sabrina and C-Lane didn't see this, obviously. Us? Yeah, a review about the podcast of the show.
Nice.
I said, this may be my favorite iTunes review of the podcast. All right? I posted this at the News Junkie on Twitter /X. It says, the best podcast ever, in all caps. And it says, hi, I'm Asher Blank, 13 years old. I hope you're doing well today, and God bless America. Why I listen to the News Junkie. I listen to this podcast because of the comedy. It's family-friendly, 12 and up recommended, and also for the expressions, which I think he might mean impressions. I think it might be what he was talking about there. Or maybe the expressions. I don't know.
We do some pretty good expressing.
I enjoy the facts and entertainment for this because they are all truthful and honest. If you would research something they say, it is all true.
Birds aren't real.
In conclusion, I think the News Junkie can be hard to understand if you're under 10 years old, but it's still pretty good for passing time.
10-year-olds love us. Come on.
The 13-year-old's like, hey, 10-year-olds, you might not be down with the News Junkie. But if you're 13 like me, God bless America. Is this a good podcast?
Pretty good for passing time.
Well, thank you so much for the review. That was very sweet.
We're here to be pretty good for passing time along with you each day. Your day is full of a bunch of nonsense and annoying people and, you know, stress and stuff. And if we can help guide you through that, well, that's the least we can do over here. Tell us what you think about what's going on in the world today. Send a dispatch. Record yours over at thenewsjunkie.com. We're 100 days in now. And the polls are popping up in the news cycle. This is when people are like, I don't believe this or that. I look at polls, and if there's a big enough of an audience that they've used to do this, and in fact, the poll I'm looking at from NBC News is 19,682 adults 18 and over.
That's a lot of adults.
It's a lot of people, I think. And I think that unless they're really getting funky with the questions or unless they get like no Republicans or no Democrats to get on the phone, it's like a pretty decent way to see how people are feeling out there. One thing I liked was, which of all the following do you find the most interest in? Which of the following topics? And of these people asked, 25% said politics was their number one.
Okay, see?
Only 9% said sports. I gotta think in the real world, not that I'm calling these numbers out yet, but in the real world, I think more people like sports than politics.
I think more people like a lot of those things than politics. I thought
culture
the
and
general
entertainment
understanding was politics has become very exhausting.
Yeah,
So
travel.
Now I want to see who they asked of the 19,000 people. They must
Who is
love
the- wait,
politics.
Who is the person who likes politics more than travel? You like politics more than traveling?
If you're traveling, you're going to be, busy, and it's going to be distracting from all the politics.
That or they have no arms and legs.
Maybe it's less fun, I guess. But these numbers seem a little bit off to me. Which one matters the most to you? Nationally, the economy came in at number 1. That's totally normal. That makes sense. I get it. I understand. Number 2, threats to democracy. That's left of center people who are saying, Donald Trump and his administration threatening democracy. That's their top issue. What else? Healthcare, 14%. Healthcare is always in that position, and we never get anything done on healthcare. Healthcare is always up there. All these politicians are always talking about healthcare. No one ever does anything. No one ever does anything about it. I always sit amazed at how bad we've screwed up the healthcare system in the United States of America. And it's wrong, but most of the reasons people think it's wrong are not true. The big problems are, in the United States of America, your healthcare is so attached, your healthcare coverage is so attached to your employment. We started out in, it was after the World War II-ish, right around there, when people, including women, were headed into the workforce in a little larger numbers. And there was a lot of competition to get the best workers. And so some of the jobs out there started to say, you know what? We'll throw in health insurance with this job, and we'll take care of you when you need to go to the doctor and such. And it was a great perk. Then all the companies started to do it because other companies did it. Now you just had to offer that up. And then it just became the way that people got health insurance. And if you don't have health insurance through an employer, first of all, I feel for you. Second of all, you know what the real problem is, because if you are self-employed trying to buy insurance for your family, oh my mama, it is insane. Some people are paying $4,000 or $5,000 a month for health insurance for their families because they don't get it through work.
Mama.
Oh my mama, indeed.
My mama.
What about right now? Do you approve or disapprove of the way Donald Trump is handling his job as president?
Survey says
strongly approve 26, somewhat approve 19, somewhat disapprove 13, strongly disapprove 42 in this poll. So that puts disapproval at 55. So that's underwater, 55% disapproval, 45%
Are these not percentages?
Approval. Yeah, it would be, yeah, because it's all adding up to 100 when you go through here. Younger people are more likely to strongly disapprove. Older people also, though. The people in their 30s to their 60s are the most happy with things so far.
That's such a wide span. So
Yeah,
much
but it
happens
makes sense.
between your 30s and 60s.
No, it makes sense because older people are very worried about things like your 401k, Social Security, because there's fears over that. The older people are so focused on that. People in their 30s to 60s aren't yet hyper-focused on that, so they haven't turned just yet. What's your favorite source of news and information?
Where's the news
2%
junkie?
said newspaper. 2% said newspaper, a print newspaper.
How
That's how low
likely do you
that's down.
think those people work for the newspaper in some capacity?
They have to. Just by default, they have to. 20%
Well, that
said,
goes up to 3% when you go to the 65 plus, which is not really that surprising.
We don't know how to work the phones.
digital or online news websites as your source of information is 20%. X or Twitter is 4%. TikTok, 6%. Local TV news, 10%. The national news outlets, so you're like CNN, ABC, CBS, Fox News, those ones, 26%. And then down from there, YouTube is 8 or so.
I like how Snapchat was an option and nobody went for it. 0% across the board.
Radio got 3%. We got 3%
baby.
over here. Woo! Take that,
3%.
newspaper. We're really pulling it in. Compared to 1 year ago, is your personal finance situation better or worse? 22% say better, 44% say about the same, and 34% say it's worse today. And you just go on through what everybody's thinking. Here's one for you. How proud are you to be an American?
From the lakes of Minnesota.
42% are on with Lee Greenwood. Proud to be an American. Extremely proud, in fact. 20% very proud. So that's 62% in the very to extremely proud to be an American. 16% moderately proud. 10% only a little proud. And this is kind of reassuring. Only 12% are not at all proud to be an American. That's the very loud portion of America bad people. But only 12% are saying, well, I'm not at all proud to be American. Most people are like, at least a little bit. I take pride in the fact that, or understand that I'm lucky to be an American born in this country.
America, we got to get those 18 to 29 up.
Let me see, was it lower over
I'm
there?
getting like a weird PTSD thing of our ratings. Let's get those lower demos, baby.
Still, 82% say they're at least a little proud in the 18 to 29 bracket. Still with those folks. They're less likely to be extremely proud if you're 18 to 29. But that's the years when you explore this stuff the most, I think.
When you're trying to find yourself.
Yeah. Older people are pretty proud.
Yeah.
91%
we only have 10 years to be more proud.
Those 65 and over, 91% of them are at least a little proud to be an American. And I would suggest that you should be. Okay? It's a weird way to look at this thing as just America bad, America bad, America bad.
Know that at least they're free?
Yes. Lee Greenwood has told all of us all of these things. And even though he is in his waning days, is he still alive or did we lose Greenwood?
He's still alive.
He's still kicking, I think.
I don't even think he's...
Last I saw, he was looking rough. It was not a great time.
Guess his age. 3, 2, 1.
AD. 80.
81.
82.
Damn. In the ballpark. But Lee Greenwood, oh, yeah, he's still alive. Okay. He's been married for 27 years. His wife looks a lot younger than him, he said. But he's on the top of that list. He's very proud to be an American. And I would argue that you should be yourself. But if you're not, if you're in that category where you're like, I'm not proud to be an American, well, bitch, what are you upset about? Okay. Go whine about it. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now.
They're trying to convince.
12% of negative people. There is a percentage of people that just wants to be mad. Sabrina, I told you, I've been talking about how some of it's for attention, like the people who go on Facebook and they say, oh, yes, I went to the preview for the Epic Universe theme park. And they're like, it sucked. It was so boring, and this was bad, and this is terrible. And those are the negative people. No matter what, they're going to be miserable for their whole lives. When you see them, try to be nice to them a little bit, but keep your distance, because the miserable people are like a vortex that just try to pull you in, and everything is, this sucks, this is bad, this is not fun.
Fun suckers, energy vampires.
Yes, it's no good. It's the 12% of people that are just always going to be upset. If you gave them a free pizza, they'd go, oh, this is gross.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah, there's something to bitch about. No matter what is happening, you've always got something to bitch about. So those people, I think, are always kind of like that. What do you think? Let us know. Let's work in a couple of dispatches real quick. Let's see what's going on. Oh, here's Cruise Entertainment Director.
We'll believe you.
This should be enlightening here. If you are on that level, you're probably going to know a little bit more about what happens on these kind of cruises. My argument being, and I stand by this, the cheaper the cruise, the more likely that there's going to be a fight on it.
The better the booze.
And I think that kind of goes for other stuff outside of cruising, but just generally speaking, the cheaper the cruise, the more likely there's going to be a fight on it. Now, I will stipulate before I play this dispatch, C-Lane said, did you say Carnival has a less strict drinking pass?
No. Royal Caribbean, in my experience, both times I've been on Royal Caribbean, I have had an unlimited drink pass with no stipulations. Now, I looked up Carnival's drink package, and the Cheers package, which is $82.54 per person per day, gets you your program allows for up to 15 alcoholic drinks per 24-hour period. That's 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. Once you have consumed your 15 drinks, you cannot purchase any additional alcoholic beverages.
Shut down, huh?
That's a hell of a cutoff.
It's shutting you down, yeah. Completely cutting you off on the ship.
You would think maybe you'd be less likely to see some action.
You guys make me feel crazy on this one because every time this comes up, I go, I can't believe there's a limit of 15 drinks and people are still going, come on. I need more than 15 drinks.
Yeah, because
15
I've
drinks is a
seen you
lot.
do that before with no problem.
I was at your party and I had a couple of White Claws. That was my extent of drinking. I had a couple of White Claws out
Do you
there.
think you had more than 15 drinks, Sabrina?
Yeah.
But
also the sun sucked out a lot of the alcohol from me. But I will
That's not how
never
that
forget
works.
when we first, it did. At least that's what I'm going with. But when we all first started the show, we would have our meetings after the show at our favorite watering hole. And I said, this afternoon, I am going to go drink for drink with both of you guys. And you got in within 2 hours, like 6 drinks, and I was projectile vomiting by 4:30 p.m.
Yeah, but I wouldn't spread it across a day like I think you or some of these cruise people would do.
I can't do 15 drinks that long. No, I cannot make it, but I do feel like we all know people that could do that no problem.
Sealand explained this before, and he said, let's say you wake up and you have breakfast, and with your breakfast you want like a couple Bloody Marys or maybe some mimosas.
There's
you
three.
have a Bloody Mary and 3 mimosas. Now you're in 4 in. And then for lunch, you go by the pool and you have
Well,
like
you're having an
6
in-between drink.
Yeah, you have an in-between drink, bringing you to 5. Now you go to lunch and you're partying by the pool and you have 5 more drinks with your friends. And then maybe you take a little nap, and after your nap-a-rooney, you want to party a little bit more, boot and rally style. You only have 5 more drinks in your allocation.
Okay, now throw in a group shot. Now throw in 2 group shot that counts for a drink.
Oh, shots are
Those all
going to be... No, shots count, meaning you're not going to be able to do shots. If you're limited to 15 and you sleep for 8 hours, the recommended amount of time for sleep, you get 8 hours of sleep. You're up for 16 hours. That's less than 1 an hour.
Yeah, well...
So grow up, Sean.
I think that's because what you got to do is you limit it to like a window. Night Nurse says, you're doing this, Sean, because you're now limiting drinking. A couple years ago, you wouldn't have questioned this. I don't think so, because I wasn't a drinker for the whole day. Like I would always go for the most part at least. I start drinking like 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and maybe drink till like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and then go home and chill out. Even in my longest of days, I didn't have a lot of days where I just went that far with things. It was a lot in a short period of time. Anyhow, all that said, back to the cruise entertainment director.
Hello, News Junkie.
He's on the ship.
It's a beautiful day. First-time caller, long-time listener. I've been listening
Damn.
your very first day.
Well, thank you for listening that long. Send a video dispatch next time because your phone has got low-quality microphone audio.
He's on the walkie-talkie the sailors use.
I've been working on improving that, but some of these phones just like, I don't know. Help me out, by the way. Cruise Entertainment Director, in the comments on your dispatch on thenewsjunkie.com, tell me what kind of phone you have and other details about it. But
Nextel.
Send a video dispatch next time. If anybody ever has those and I'm not playing your dispatches because they're low quality, send a video dispatch. It solves your problem for you. Here's Jazzy Josh.
Yeah, I took Carnival Cruise 2 years ago, and I will never do it again. It's like if a cruise boat pulled up to a Walmart and said, hey, guys, we're going cruising. It's a Walmart on the water, and it's awful.
All right, another take on this. Here's Daddy 2 times.
Yeah, Sean, I agree. On a $400 cruise, way more people are getting in fights than on a $4,000 cruise. However, I don't think it's a rich versus poor thing. It's not a class issue. It's a matter of having all that extra money to just get hammered around a bunch of people doing the same, right? You go on that $400 cruise, 80% of the people are getting wasted. You go on that $4,000 cruise, 20% are getting wasted. And you know what? On that $400 cruise, there's plenty of people that are worth plenty of money getting S-faced, acting a damn fool.
Are there people who are what you consider wealthy? You know, not like mega rich. I'm not talking about billionaires or anything, but wealthy enough that they have options that would still choose a cheaper cruise line for the partying. There has to be some percentage of people that would do that, but I don't know if it's a big percentage. I legitimately...
There are frugal, rich people.
I think the cheaper partiers, the people who go for the bargain basement things, go out on these vacations and they try to get every dime out of those drink passes that they say, I paid for, I'm drinking them all. and then you just end up with a propensity to be more fights. Obviously, being poor doesn't make you fight more, or being rich doesn't make you fight less. It just so happens that in those categories across the spectrum of travel, on the poor cruises, you are absolutely going to see more fights than you do on the rich cruises. It filters out more of these people for some reason. Anyhow, let us know what you think. We got to get to that. We got the next episode peeking up on the show before too long. When we come back, there is a guy who is maybe the dumbest person I've heard of all week long. This guy is a real dummy, and yet people keep helping him out. Would you help him out? That's the question I have for you. We'll talk about that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, a Florida teacher gets sued for bullying a student into suicide. At 4, we'll do What'd You Do That's New. For trivia, it's Orlando City tickets and Metallica tickets. And we'll end up with It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. Plus 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000 and your calls, text, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's an accident off to the shoulder, slowing down traffic.
Let's go, Mike. Tanya says, I've never had a bad Carnival cruise. She's a big fan. Never had a bad experience. I'm glad we are platinum members and will continue. One thing I'll tell you for sure is the deals are good. A Carnival cruise ship is going to be nice. It's going to be clean. It's not going to be some messy, shitty old ship. It'll be a nice ship. It'll be clean. The food will at least be mediocre, enjoyable stuff. The service will be good. The only problem will be some of the hellions that are on this cheap cruise with you. That is the only problem that I think you actually face. Because when you look at cruises like Disney or something, Disney is crazy expensive. Disney cruise is like what? For a family of 4, $5,000 easy? More than that, probably. Probably more than $5,000 for Disney. Whereas you can find deals on Carnival Cruise Lines for $600, $700 with a bunch of the fees included for a 5 to 7 day cruise. That's just not comparable. That's a massive difference. Bootsy says way more than that. I'm talking base price Disney cruise. For a week, I would have to think at least like $1,200 to $1,400 per person, maybe for 7 days would be my guess. So you're talking about $5,000 for a family of 4. And the weird thing is, like, if you have 2 people to a cabin versus 4 people to a cabin, it doesn't really change much of anything. Kevin says you're only allowed 3 White Claws a day on Disney. I don't know if that's true. But I will tell you, my favorite drinking rule is this. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this before, but this is a true story. You can look this up if you want to. This is a true story. If you go to Epic Universe and go into like the spooky part of it, Dark Universe, you could get your face painted. Now, the person I am, would never get my face painted. I would never do that. It's not something that I find interesting or not something that I would subject myself to. But they have a weird rule. If you get your face painted at the theme park, at Epic Universe, in Dark Universe, you can't drink. Once you get your face painted, you can't drink. They won't allow you to. BDMX Con says Sean's mad they wouldn't do his face as the Insane Clown Posse. I've always had an aversion to, I've not wanted to wear costumes for my whole life. Probably because it was all like homemade bad stuff when I was young. Kind of embarrassing things. My mom would like put a sheet on me and call me a ghost. I've got pictures of all of this. Tanya says, plus we smuggle in a bottle of alcohol. I mean, that's smart. That gives you some control, right? Because then if somebody said, you're cut off, you'd be like, it doesn't matter what you say. Although that could be a bad idea, too. Some of these people need to be cut off. Let's not ignore that fact. 2 minutes. Baby Bear says, they won't let you drink because if you get your face painted, it's harder to ID you. Yeah, I know. I was thinking that there would be some solution for that. Like they could say, okay, we're going to ID you first, and then we'll give you like a wristband or something as an indicator. And then that way they'll know that even though your face is painted, you've been verified as being 21 in the park today, and you can still continue to buy drinks. But I think they've just decided it's easier for them just to say, if your face is painted, you're cut off. You can't buy any alcohol. Vicky G says we just had a grand in your hand winner. Is that true? Or are you lying to me? Don't lie to me, Vicky. Is that true? I'll check. I'll check that in a second. This is why you should be paying attention to those keywords, though, everybody. You hear the keyword, you do what it says. Dan says there could be some sort of 6.5% chance if your face is painted that you're going to cause more problems. I don't know. Maybe like you feel like you're hidden behind a mask so you can get away with more stuff. There's probably no science to back this up. All right, we're coming back. Let's see if we got a winner.
Brings a fresh, new energy.
This is Today.
And no matter what the day holds, we come to the Today Show for all of it.
When things are tough, we talk about it. When there's something to figure out, we dig into it. And when there's joy, we celebrate it.
Because today is where it's all happening. We get the best start to every morning because we start it together.
Watch the Today Show with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin, weekdays at 7 a.m. on NBC.
Wilmer Valderrama and Freddie Rodriguez welcome another amigo to their podcast, Dos Amigos. Wilmer's friend and former That 70s Show castmate Topher Grace stops by the Speakeasy for a two-part interview to discuss his career and reminisce about old times.
We were still in that place of like, what will this experience become? And you go, you're having the best time you're ever going to have. Yeah. But it was like such a perfect golden time.
Listen to Dos Amigos on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dos Amigos.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, FUN. F-U-N, FUN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Go to thenewsjunkie.com/share, thenewsjunkie.com/share, and just click follow, and you'll keep up with everything we have going on our various social media platforms. One of the dumbest debates of the year has been this whole thing. It's all over the social medias. It's on every stupid platform. Everybody's talking about it. And it's because we like simple things and we like distractions. And, of course, we do provide distractions for you daily on the show. But everybody's talking about 100 men versus one gorilla. Who would win? If there was 100 men versus one gorilla in like a YouTuber Mr. Beast challenge or something, who would win? Would the men win or would the gorilla win? And this to me is such a dumb question that it's borderline ridiculous. Obviously, 100 men would defeat and kill a gorilla. Otherwise, this world would be populated by gorillas more than human beings. We have one out over the gorillas. We have one out over all of the other animals. We have gone from just being creatures along with them to going out into space and to doing things that they never will or could with a million years leeway. Just wouldn't happen. And the average human is obviously nowhere near as strong as a gorilla. But if I have a 357 Magnum, we're going to make short work of this gorilla. That is going to be like 15 minutes, and then 15 minutes, 2 minutes. I'll go into the room, I'll find the gorilla, I'll set my sights on him, and I'll bop the gorilla off. Just like that.
So the gorilla needs to hide.
The gorilla, it would be best served to hide if I have a gun. And if the men had no weapons at all, I don't even think you have to imagine this stuff because they tried stuff out like this in the Colosseum with the gladiators. They literally tried to put man versus beast and see who won out. 100 men versus one gorilla, that's a dead gorilla every single time. The gorilla will die. 100 women versus one gorilla. The women will kill the gorilla.
No, we'll end up hugging and becoming friends.
That gorilla ain't hugging you. That
sharing recipes.
Real sweet like Harambe from a while away, and then when you get real close, that thing is crazy as hell and angry. But 100 humans versus a gorilla is too many humans for any gorilla to encounter. I don't know why this is hard for people. They've even done a simulation of this where they have the gorilla battling the humans. Oh, yeah. Now, gorillas are large. I'll give it to them. This one's swatting down
humans
many humans.
Robots?
Yeah, they're like simulated humans attacking the large gorilla that's going to battle with
I'm going to
them.
be in the back there, those that are just running around in
Over here?
circles. Yeah.
Right on the fringes, like, put them up, let me in. But not actually going up to the gorilla. This gorilla is larger, I think, than the average gorilla numero uno.
That's a pretty large gorilla.
It's too big in this simulation. And even though they're really strong, there's just no way you could do this. I think that with a crew of five average humans, I could kill a gorilla with my bare hands. I think it's going to take 5 because you got to get smart. You got to surround this thing. You got to pin it in. You kind of.
What are the other 4 doing that allows you to kill the gorilla with your bare hands?
We're all working together in tandem, C-Lane.
No, the answer is all the work.
Wow. How dare you? I'm skilled. I would get in there, move around, and I would try to get behind the gorilla.
Yeah, right. You'd be like, hey, how are you? Hello, monkey. Giant monkey.
I know that thing ain't going to talk to me. We're not there yet. We will be, but we are not there yet. And they've done many simulations of this. They've asked all the AIs. They said the gorilla, ChatGPT says the beasts are insanely strong. A silverback can lift up to 800 kilograms, run at 25 miles per hour. That's pretty fast for a gorilla. It has a bite force of 1,300 PSI, enough to crush bones. One swing of its arm could kill a man instantly, this says. But 100 people is just too many.
I'm supposed to trust the post where the gorilla's bench pressing? That's not a real thing.
Right, yeah. I'm not buying this. The gorillas don't have the ability to work together with each other enough. They don't.
It doesn't matter. There's only one.
Yeah, I know, but the gorilla by itself is just going to be like dodo nature moving around. There's no strategy. The gorilla is not going to be like, there are 100 human beings in front of me, and I've got to defeat them all. So let me. It's just going survive, 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 and it's attacking whatever it can. So I think it would be fairly easy. Fairly easy. Is this real? This is AI. Yeah, this is clearly AI fighting a gorilla. It shows a handful of guys.
Let's take off all our shirts. Make our shorts shorter. One guy's butt is exposed.
Yeah. And the gorilla, in comparison, is big, but it wouldn't be different than like the tallest man or the biggest, strongest man in the world facing that many people. It just can't work out in the long run. Ryan says, solid strategy to get behind it, Sean. Got to romance it first. If everybody's surrounding the gorilla, I feel like you can get behind the thing and somehow restrain it a bit. You got to stay away from those teeth, though, and you got to get to the eyes. I hate to say this. I don't want any harm done to animals. I love animals. I love them. But if you're dealing with an animal, a beast like this, you got to go after the genitals and the eyeballs. That's it. Those are the only things that they're going to understand from, because they want to protect their eyeballs, because if they don't have their eyes, they're dead. They know they're dead. They're going to die if they don't have vision. So you go after their eyeballs. You reach in, you grab one of them gorilla eyes out, right out of the socket, grab the other gorilla eye out. Now you're done. You won. This thing's over with. As easy as that. Or it starts getting on you in the genitals. right there, working that thing as much as you possibly can.
Does that, I mean,
I think
does that
their
hurt
genitals
gorillas like it does humans?
I mean,
yeah, I'm sure.
Does it though? Because their genitals are constantly exposed, so I feel like it's probably layered with some toughness to it.
So are a pit bulls, but if you jam your finger where the sun don't shine on a pit bull, that pit bull will, whoa, you know?
Yeah, but pit bulls don't have thumbs like gorillas do.
They're going to let go. The gorilla, I'm telling you, if you go, bam, you start going in there, you start going after the holes, you'll end up in a position where that thing is letting go of you.
Or
I don't
kissing
think this
you in
is
the mouth slowly.
I don't think this is as difficult. And people are trying to arrange this. How much is this? I'm willing to volunteer all the way from Nigeria. We're trained to face our fears and also know that with the right mindset, we can conquer anything. If David can defeat Goliath, Abaz alone can defeat the gorilla, Abaz says. He wants to do it. He wants to fight. What do you think? Let us know. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com right now.
David had weapons, though.
Yeah, he did. He had a slingshot.
Stone and a sling.
A slingshot to take out the Goliath in that situation. But in this situation, I don't know if you're allowed to have any weapons because then it would just be so one-sided. Gorilla's done. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? We got celebrities, and they're just like us. If we were self-made billionaires who have never, ever, ever ordered food delivered to your house. Terrence Howard, Academy Award winner and creator of New Math That Makes No Sense, adds a new notch to his belt. He's so straight that he'd cut off his lips before smooching dudes. Plus, Jack Black has set a new record, and it's not for guitar solos with his mouth. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
By the way, I'll pay off that story I teased about the person who we probably shouldn't be helping. That will be paid off a little bit here on the show. All that coming up next on the almost over the next episode. Okay. All that coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James Miguel and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast on this Tuesday. And the rest of our day will feature a few hit and miss showers, only about a 10 to 20% chance. And most of these will take place just before lunchtime. Otherwise, we'll dry things out for the remainder of the afternoon. Temperatures won't be nearly as hot as what we felt yesterday, with afternoon highs a little closer to normal, right around the middle 80s. Throughout the rest of this week, we will be dry and hotter, with temperatures nearing 90 by Friday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those.
Hello, School Mike. Hello. I don't even see this as being an interesting question, honestly. One gorilla versus 100 humans. If they would have said one gorilla versus 10 humans or 5 humans, then I would say, okay. Because I would believe it if you said a gorilla got confronted in the wild and the gorilla took on 5 adult human beings and then won and like slaughtered all the adult human beings. I would buy that. But if you told me a gorilla encountered a whole tribe of 100 people and slaughtered every last one of them, 0% chance I'm believing that. It doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't work. Not even a good question. 100 junkie cats versus 1 lady dog. Truth of the matter is, lady is not a strong dog. Junkie cat doesn't really get aggressive towards lady, but lady is always trying to shove her face in junkie cat's crotch. If junkie cat wanted to one-on-one, gato y perro, mano a mano, if she wanted to do that, I think junkie cat could take out lady dog on her own. Just 1v1. 2 minutes. Somebody shot and killed a bear outside of your driveway? We ain't got no bears in my neighborhood. But I did see a story today that we have maybe at some point where a woman got into a fight with a bear. Never a great idea. But she didn't die. That's just one bear. Ryan says, how many deaths before the gorilla is down? I'd say 6. I would say 6 max. It depends on so many things. Like, are these all MMA fighter guys? Are these big farmers? Are these like swashbuckling dudes? Are these Paul Bunyans? Because if they're fair-sized, fair-strength men going in, a couple of them will end up winning against the gorilla. I hate not 2, 3 or 4. I hear you. One minute. It took less than a dozen researchers to teach Coco sign language. Hot take. Gorillas don't know sign language. Coco cannot understand sign language. Coco cannot communicate with people. Coco can only do things that she knows gets an outcome from the people that she's around. Gorillas and other animals like that are incapable of learning things on that level. They can only repeat actions that bring them conclusions, which is actually different. We're coming back.
First treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 407-337-5569. 407-337-5569. To restore your sex life in just one visit. Call now. 407-337-5569.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The kind of crew who types the word functioning in bold, italic, and underline.
World of entertainment and beyond. Thank you for being with us today. We do greatly appreciate it. We know there's lots of stuff out there for you to tune into, and the fact that you chose the News Junkie, honestly, it's flattering to me. So thank you for that. If you want the podcast or more info about the show, go to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. Let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Drums, man.
Drums, man.
It's the drums, man.
Yeah, no,
the drums. I recognize it right away, man.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey,
smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. ThatmortgageguyDon.com. And big shout out to him and his wonderful, wonderful partner in crime for coming and hanging out on Sunday. And a happy early birthday to him as well. Turning a ripe age of 35 as well. But he's also looking out for you. He's an expert when it comes to mortgages. That's why it's in his name. If you're refinancing, buying your first dream home, doing some debt consolidation, expanding your business, starting your first business, got to work with someone who's looking out for you. Go to thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
One of my favorite times of the year. It was on this day, 17 years ago, 2008. 3 residents of a Greek island by the name of Lesbos. They filed a lawsuit to ban the Greek Gay and Lesbian Union, a gay rights group in Greece, from using the term lesbian in its name. A judge in Athens rejected the case and slapped them with a fine of 230 euros, which is how much? 2 points in USD.
$300?
So close.
230 euros?
Farther away. Oh,
no. That's what you said, 230 euros? $265.
Oh, so close. $366.
Oh, Jesus.
For wasting the court's time. So the term lesbian actually derived from the writings by Sappho. Jeff would know it. Who was born on Lesbos in 630 BC. Sean, you remember that? She was a woman who liked to write poems about how other women turned her on, thus making her a lesbian.
Was your conversion calculator is garbage. I'd like to go on the record saying.
Okay. At the time, I'm saying
255 euros to dollars now, or you're saying in Lesbos time?
In Lesbo dollars.
How are we ever going to get that? That is not even possible.
A fine of 230 euros, which they say is $366 in 2008.
Oh, 2008. That's what it is. Okay. So they're giving us like old ass currency change.
Yeah,
okay.
old
All
AF.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's get to real time, 2025. And Terrence Howard is back at it. Academy Award nominated actor Terrence Howard revealed that he did turn down a Lee Daniels Helm biopic about this guy right here.
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye is right.
Oh, okay. All right.
And why did he turn that down, even though he has a lot of, what am I looking for? Loyalty to Lee Daniels?
Mm-hmm.
He turned it down because he didn't want to explore that homosexuality. Turns out it was gay without the E when it came to Marvin.
Marvin Gaye was gay? No.
Rumor has it.
No. Is this that thing where they make everybody gay afterwards?
Everyone's
or is
gay
he
all
really
the time.
gay? No, they did this with they do it with Lincoln and stuff. They're like, oh, it's really gay.
Lincoln was so gay.
No, he was.
Speaking with Bill Maher on Club Random, he recalled the biggest mistake he made in his career was rejecting Smokey Robinson's offer to play him in the biopic. Because at the time, he was in the middle of talks for the Marvin Gaye biopic and was being faithful to Lee Daniels. He had given his word as a man to be in his next biopic. So it would have been perfect as Marvin Gaye, said Bill Maher. But I guess at some point, Howard goes over to Quincy Jones's house. We all know Quincy Jones recently passed away.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked Quincy, and this is a direct quote, trying to confirm what these rumors were about. I'm asking Quincy, I'm hearing rumors that Marvin was gay. And I'm like, was he gay? And Quincy's like, yes. End quote. As a result.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go. You go ahead.
My favorite thing about this was, and I think we've talked about this before, Marvin Gaye changed the spelling of his name to put the E on the end because he was worried about that.
Right.
Like he was worried that people were going to think he was gay. And instead of changing his name, he just put an E on the end, which
Still
was
says gay.
still pronounced the same way and everything.
So the Iron Man actor said he could not play the role. They would have wanted me to do that, and I wouldn't have been able to do it. Of course, Bill asked, you mean you couldn't kiss a dude on screen? He replied, no, because I couldn't fake it. I couldn't kiss a man either, says Bill. Super straight talk for sure. Howard went on as far as to say, it would F me. That would F me. I would cut my lips off. If I kissed some man, I would cut my lips off.
Damn, bro.
So, sounds pretty gay to me.
All right.
Now let's get away from the gay stuff and something everyone's even farther from, and that's being just as rich as Martha Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
And now she is shookething people, a wave of shooketh throughout the entire world. She was on the Kelly Clarkson show, and she was alongside a chef, and they were speaking of this place in Toronto, and she revealed what they're calling Hollywood's biggest secret to date.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's that big. I bet it's not that big of a secret.
Not at all. And not surprising whatsoever. But here's the clip, and hope you all are sitting down.
All right, here we go. There it is.
And they have great restaurants in Toronto.
And
they know her and everyone.
And I go, do they deliver? No, I do like going out, especially when you're in a restaurant that it does have just a.
Do you want to know a secret? I have never ordered in. No.
Are you kidding?
She's never ordered delivery food in her life?
Not one time.
I mean, I might be able to believe that she's never ordered delivery food. She's never ordered pizza. That seems ridiculous.
She's never ordered food to her house.
She's never had an assistant
She said,
bring her food.
I will go out or I will not eat, is what Martha Stewart shared.
She probably has a chef. She probably has
Oh,
somebody
without
like
a
make
doubt.
like because you go. I don't have to do that because if I want a pizza, I tell Raul or whoever's in the kitchen, "Hey, make me up a pizza, please."
Yeah, but
And then do it.
do you think she's that rich that chef can make it taste like a Domino's pizza?
Probably.
I want to taste what the poor people are
I know
doing.
how the chef can make it taste like a Domino's pizza. Guy gets
Just
on the
get a
phone and
Domino's
orders
pizza?
a damn Domino's pizza.
Then you put a little garnish on it.
What's she worth? Martha Stewart
I
network.
thought she was a billionaire status now. Was she
Yeah, they
not?
said she certainly was a billionaire when Martha Stewart Living went public. Her network has fallen. She's around $400 million now.
Damn.
Poor thing. That's tough.
Jack Black, though, instead of, I mean, he's raking in a whole bunch of money, but now he has got a record also on his resume. He now has the record for Billboard Hot 100 quickest song to land on the chart at just 34 seconds.
Whoa.
Here's the
okay.
remix that's longer than the song. Did you guys see Minecraft yet?
No.
That's from Minecraft.
You've
But-
seen Minecraft?
No. I'm waiting for you to download it for me and put it on Sean's Plex account. So that's number one, 34 seconds, Steve's Lava Chicken. Number two, Beautiful Trip by Kid Cudi, 37 seconds. Reached the top 100 in the Billboard style. Pineapple Apple Pen.
That's a tough one.
Pap. That was 45 seconds long. Little Boxes from the Women Folk was 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Oh, wait. We're talking about the shortest songs to chart.
Yeah.
I thought I thought
That
you
sounds
meant
like the most misogynistic band name I've
Little
ever heard.
Boxes from the Women Folk.
The
yeah.
Women Folk. All right.
I thought you were talking about it only took 34 seconds from the song being released to hit the charts.
No. It was the quickest song to land on the Hot 100.
Weird.
So it's the shortest song. We
All
have
right.
Deck the Halls, Pete Davidson by Ariana Grande, Difference Interlude by XXXTentacion. Triple
That's
X.
a tough one, too.
Yep. And Forward, Beyonce, and What I've Been Looking For with Andrew Seeley and Vanessa Hudgens. So congratulations. Get out there and make tiny, short songs, people. On the bib dip. We got President Trump, the first 100 days, the interview in the Oval Office on ABC, first 3 episodes of Andor on Disney+, first season finale of St. Dennis Medical, series premiere of Polly Family on TLC.
Ooh.
2 married couples who have chosen to live together as a close quad.
Uh-oh.
Bigger boxes. Series premiere of Wear Whatever the F You Want on Amazon, and you can catch Julie Louis. You know what? Tough names today.
Seinfeld lady.
Follow your dreams to me on Instagram at Sabrina Abra. Most importantly, say it with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Julie Louis Dreyfus.
The Women Folk from Seinfeld. That'll do it. You just really get right
Just
down
narrow
to
it
it.
down. The one with the boobs.
Hey, I saw that. I guess Beyonce's tour is off and running.
Oh, it is.
And you're going at some point to that.
Cannot even open my Instagram because I'm
No?
trying to avoid spoilers.
That's weird now. I don't remember concert spoilers being a thing previous to like maybe modern age with social media and stuff. I didn't.
Yeah, but considering the sets, and no, I did look up the set list because I would like to make sure I know all the songs. But
Right.
I want this
But doesn't
element
that
of
spoil it?
surprise. I just want the element of surprise of the visuals
Okay.
of it.
Or like guests or anything like that. Oh, okay. So I shouldn't tell you that Chris Brown is going to be with her on a couple of legs of this tour,
right.
Or that
I saw the kids were there already.
the kids. Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
kids are going.
Yeah, it is kind of weird though that like you have to not get spoiled for concerts
There's
in
one
2025.
Beyonce account that I follow that was nice enough to say, so you know, this is going to have a lot of spoilers. If you do not want to see anything when it comes to this upcoming tour, unfollow me right now. And that's what I did. But it did
damn.
not
It's a
help.
bold move for your follower count.
That is. That's the strategy right there.
But
I
everyone
don't know if it's a good
else
one.
just posted the spoilers.
Also, I don't know if Beyonce is going to be able to continue with her career after we saw those jaw-dropping Katy Perry moves yesterday. It's just like,
Oh, man, she's killing it.
that. Once
I
you
thought
see her,
Space was crazy. When she's back on
choreography.
Earth. Whew.
Yeah, she's just nailing it right now.
So did you just now. If someone could grab that GIF and send it to me.
The baby dance move that she had was like this
Oh my God,
one.
it's like you have a real baby.
It's next level stuff. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from you. You can join us. I'll get to that story where I said, this man should not be helped. Stop helping this man. I think we might all be in agreement on this one, but we'll see where it goes. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Join the Jim Colbert Show for Boozy Brunch, Sunday, May 4th. Details at realradio.fm/brunch.
Emergency crews are clearing up a serious accident on Highway 33 between the Lake Erie Road and Laws Road. Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on I-4 westbound before Saxon Boulevard. There's an object in the roadway causing commotion on the Greenway southbound near that International Airport exit there. And expect delays due to an accident off to the shoulder at the Ramp Junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the Beach Line. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Brown.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Real Radio has your chance to win a dream home makeover. Brought to you by Fairwinds Credit Union. Up for grabs is the ultimate backyard from Orlando Backyard Living. Win a roof from Eustis Roofing. Solar from Solar Source, a cooling system from Mills Air, or a whole house filtration system from Pure Touch Water Filters. Get more details and enter all 4 of these contests at realradio.fm/contests.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this Air France radio message. Craving an unforgettable destination where culture, history, architecture, romance, and the excellence of French gastronomy all meet? With Air France, Paris and all its delights have never been closer. From May 21st, make the most of our new Orlando International Airport nonstop flights to Paris. Elegance is a journey. Air France. See conditions on airfrance.us.
Right now, during the Jeep Celebration event, well-qualified current FCA lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Laredo 4x2 for $369 a month.
Yo, yo, yo! Email the show, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Congrats to Perry, who says, thank you, junkies. I won the $1,000 for the last hour. Congrats, Perry. How cool is that? That's a fun time. Somebody said Amazon caved on the idea that they were going to put the tariff costs next to prices on all the Amazon items. It seems like they ran with half a story there. It seems like Amazon was thinking about doing something only on their cheap website, and then they decided against it, and now they're saying it's just like a conversation that they're having. I don't think it's going to help anybody much, right? To put that up there to be like, here's the tariff cost. Now, if you don't like Trump, I can see 100% why you would want that, because it's sort of like a corporate level campaign equivalent to when the Trump supporters put the Biden stickers on the gas pumps and it was pointing towards the price and it would say, I did that. And whether you agree or not, it was kind of an effective thing that caught on virally. And it's a digital version on that on a corporate scale. So if you don't like Trump, you probably would like that because it would probably bring down interest in him. But don't worry, you have plenty of other things on your side. The entire media apparatus, save for a handful of outlets, is dedicated to your cause. You'll be okay. You'll be all right. I like more than anything. There's an Amazon plugin where when you go to your Amazon thing, it shows you the historical prices. And I've used that a bunch, by the way. That's way better. So you can see, oh, this used to cost this much. Generally, it costs this much. Actually, I'm getting a good deal here. That's my number 1 Amazon tip. And my number 2 Amazon tip is slow down. Slow down. Because I cannot tell you how many times I have missed when you look at an item on Amazon, look right below the title and stuff and see if there's any coupons there. Because oftentimes you just click and it adds a coupon that takes off whatever amount of money. But if you don't click it, you literally don't get it. I missed that a lot of times. It'll say 15% off and you just hit like claim and then you put it in a shopping cart and you get it. Slow down. This has been a tip about shopping with Sean. That's correct. I got pro tips on everything. Amazon shopping, I have quite a bit of experience with. And I have bought the wrong thing many times. And Courtney goes, here, do this. And then she says, hit this promo, and then you'll get money off. And I go, son of a bitch. She knows how to save money. And she's not crazy about it, but she'll just go like, if a thing is $100 and I can get it for $75, I'd be stupid to pay $100, and I agree. I like that. All right. Okay, you heard him, folks. You probably didn't because it was only in the headphones, but we're coming back.
Brings a fresh, new energy.
This is Today.
And no matter what the day holds, we come to the Today Show for all of it.
When things are tough, we talk about it. When there's something to figure out, we dig into it. And when there's joy, we celebrate it.
Because today is where it's all happening. We get the best start to every morning because we started together.
Watch the Today Show with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin, weekdays at 7 a.m. on NBC.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GREEN. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Meet the 3 friends Bill Cosby called frat bros. This is the
Don't worry, I'm not scared. If you're angry about something, that's okay. If you're having a good time, that's even better. But either way, send us a video.
Sounds scared, bro.
Or audio dispatch, or even an email over to tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
I'm a little scared.
My skin's pretty thick, Sealet. I don't get scared. I don't usually get scared, and I'm not frightened of that. But I am frightened of just dumb people in general. I do find that there is a lot to be worried. The dumber the person, the more terrifying they are, actually, Sabrina, because you just never know what decisions people are going to make. Mm-hmm. They don't care about their freedom as much as you or I do, apparently. And
I love freedom.
Every day I'll see so many stories that will be like, you know what? You cut me off and stole my parking spot, so I am going to behead you in the Publix parking lot. That's what I'm going to do. Now, of course, that's pretty extreme, but I'm sure, things like this do happen. I want to get into a couple of things here. One being a guy that we need to stop helping out immediately. Stop helping this guy.
Noted.
2, the election is over. They just had an election in Canada.
How'd it go?
It was going to go to the right, but then Trump started saying he was going to take Canada, so that'll do it. That'll push you away from your right-leaning stuff and back over, because Canadians are going, hey, we don't want that. most Canadians want Canada to be Canada. It's their country. They want that. Makes sense to them. So they elected this dude, Mark Carney. I don't know much about him, but as long as he's not Justin Trudeau, it seems like a move in the right direction.
He works at a fair.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney does not work at a fair. He works for the Liberal Party in Canada. He won the federal election.
Mm-hmm.
And his rival was a populist conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, and he was voted out of his seat in Parliament. The loss of his seat representing his Ottawa district in Monday's election capped a swift decline in fortunes for that dude after Trump took office. Trump was talking about the 51st state and various other things that turned people in a different direction in Canada. They were actually headed to the right like most of these other places, but that pushed them back because they said, we want to head in a different direction. They can't even figure out if they want to be French or not up there sometimes. So it doesn't surprise me that this would happen. But I'm not going to judge Mark Carney just yet. We'll see what he does. Maybe he's great. Maybe he's not. Here's some Canadian lady talking about how she feels after voting.
I think who I voted for.
Some of these videos are so quiet. They are whisper quiet.
Together,
Canadians are very quiet. They don't yell.
All right. I'm booping it up. There we go.
Boom,
now
boom, bop.
She's louder. Here she is.
I think who I voted for would be the best to take care of Trump. Because Trump is, I'm sorry to say, an ass. And
damn, lady.
He shouldn't even be president of the United States. But because he is, we need a strong person so that we could stand strong.
All right. So she says Trump's an ass. She's not a fan. She's firing shots at him. The Canadians are still a little upset. And it's a tough one because I don't blame them for being upset. I don't. If we started hearing that Canada wanted to take America, we'd probably say
blues are ever loving.
What? Canada? You're going to be called North America 2.0 in just a second. You're already North America.
Oh, Canada, that is a very cute idea that you just had. We're gonna put that on the refrigerator.
Yeah, but
Canada.
some crazies would also find out that you're half Canadian and start to berate you in public.
I'm ready for it then. I'm not too far off from being Canadian.
I thought you just said that you felt bad for them. That if we're talking about the hypothetical other way around thing.
No. I'm saying that I understand where Canadians are coming from. Because if I lived in Canada and if I consider myself a Canadian, I would probably go, what, this other country is talking about taking us over? You instantly get defensive of your country.
Yeah.
You instantly get defensive. Of course you do. That makes total sense. Like if the state started going to war, you might get defensive by your state. Actually, a lot of people that I know wouldn't and would abandon ship on Florida because some of you are crazy. But it would be different if the United States was feeling that same pressure. I guess this is them celebrating their win, or this is them partying a little bit. This is the new Prime Minister, Mark Carney.
That is
that a dance?
Oh, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. All right.
If that was in an ER, they would call the code blue.
Canadians, can you dance better than this? Are Canadians worse dancers than Americans?
Does anyone have that GIF I asked for earlier of Sean?
Me dancing?
Do the Katy Perry dance again.
Yeah, that was better than what we just saw from these Canucks. That was better, I think.
It was very, first dance of the night.
Yeah, stiff. A little bit too stiff, but Canadians rejoice. You have a new leader. Let's see if he sucks or not. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Now to the guy who I said we need to stop helping. Here's why I say this before we get to your dispatches. There is a climber who decided to ascend Japan's Mount Fuji. That's right, friends. You know it. You love the country. A little place called Japan.
Japan!
They decided to climb Mount Fuji, which, as far as I know, is a pretty big mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And they got altitude sickness. They were near the peak. They were almost up there. And they got altitude sickness. And they go, damn it, I'm going to need some help. And the 27-year-old Chinese student living in Japan at the time decided to make an emergency call. They sent the airlift. They took the dude out of there.
It's 12,000 feet high.
They got him help. Yeah. He was way up there on this 12,000-foot mountain. He got the altitude sickness. They took him to a hospital. They got him back, and he was good to go. He had to get rescued again.
Okay. So
just days later.
Third time's a charm, I'm sure.
Because he went back to get his cell phone. and he again got stuck.
You dumb ass.
But, buddy.
Well, they wouldn't let him out of his contract because he still had a few years to pay on it.
Just get
International
a new
fees
phone.
are insane these days.
Isn't your phone backed up to the cloud? What are you doing? You're going into the clouds to get your phone instead of just getting another one and updating it with all your stuff. This is stupid. He returned to the mountain's Fujinomiya Trail, about 10,000 feet above sea level, to look for his cell phone and some other stuff he left behind. And they said when he was there, he was once again unable to move because he got altitude sickness for a second time, and they had to go rescue him once more, this dummy. Absolutely stupid. The first time is your fault. The second time is your fault. The third time would be our fault.
Did he at least take his phone with him the second time?
It doesn't say if he found it. It just says he was suspected of having altitude sickness again. He was trying to look for his stuff. He was unable to move when he got stuck this second time around. Does not say if he found his phone or not, but leave it behind, friends. You can get another phone. You can get another phone. And I don't know if they hit you with a bill for the rescue, but they should. Should be a little bit of a fee.
I think, man, if you get a bill if you get an ambulance ride, this would be a much more expensive ambulance ride.
Yeah, right. And this is one of those things where you learn a little bit of a lesson. Like those girls who pretended that they got poisoned in Mexico and then took a chopper back to Texas. And then,
wait, the girls at the resort?
At the resort who took those photos and were like, oh, this is the moment I was poisoned.
Whatever happened to them?
They came back to America and I believe had thousands of dollars in their GoFundMes.
They went away very quickly because people started questioning their story.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Questioning those stupid pictures they posted that were the most cringe posed for hospital pictures. Ugh, gross.
This is Ant the Loader Guy with a video dispatch. It says fun at the office. Whoa, buddy. He's operating big equipment.
This one's bumped up.
Is that like a ledge up there? Dude, this looks dangerous where you are. Be very careful, sir. All right? Yay! Do you ever think about this is what people doing while they're listening to our show? They're doing all these crazy things.
Hell yeah.
For God's sake.
I'm about
that seems
it.
fun. Can we go for a ride on that, Ant? I'd like to go on a front end loader.
Isn't there not an experience you can have?
There's
one in Vegas.
Yeah.
We have to have one here.
You know, Courtney told me.
The one here is machine guns, I think. But there might be some front-end loaders, too.
See if you can look this up. Courtney told me they had opened some restaurant that was like a construction-themed restaurant. You guys heard about this?
Excuse me. No, I did not.
And I said, is this a thing we're doing now where you go to a restaurant, it's like construction-themed?
Are you talking about the construction zone?
I don't know. She just said, she goes, there's a new restaurant or there's a restaurant, and it's a construction restaurant. I said, what the hell is that? She's like, you just go there and it's all themed like construction and you eat. And I said, what is happening out there? Okay. I mean, medieval times make sense. You got like a show going on. What's the construction show? Did you find it, C-Line?
Go to constructionzonerestaurant.com if this is what she's talking about.
Zone
right to the point URL.
Restaurant.com. All right, Construction Zone Restaurant. It's got a little construction sign with like a fork and a glass on it. And what's it say? Groups and parties, order online. So the servers are wearing those like yellow vests that the construction crews wear.
Right.
And hard hats and stuff. It's like, what? Who's asking for this? Who wanted the construction restaurant?
Well, now I want to try it.
Oh, you get drinks at the Rebar.
I get it.
Where does the Agent Orange come in?
It doesn't say anything about Agent Orange. It doesn't say anything about
It's a
why.
throwback construction thing.
Is it? Are you sure?
Yeah, I come from a family of construction people. So.
Who have Agent Orange?
Yeah, man.
Agent Orange was used in the Vietnam War.
And was there not construction during the Vietnam War?
It was to get rid of brush and stuff, as I recall, but maybe it's a construction thing too. The Construction Zone is a unique restaurant and bar with a themed environment, creating the illusion. Oh, God. It's even more involved than I thought. with a themed environment, creating the illusion of being atop the 86th floor of a skyscraper that's currently under construction.
Nah, I'm good.
This
That's scary.
one-of-a-kind dining experience offers an exciting job site-inspired menu and handcrafted cocktails. And I guess you go inside and it looks like there's construction going on. Damn, shouts out to those onion rings you guys got going on. It looks all right. It's kind of interesting, but didn't think people were asking for it. Maybe you guys have been. If you've been to the Construction Zone restaurant, shout out. Let us know what you think. Let us know what was going on there. Here's a couple more for you. Not Your Average Joe chiming in about man versus gorilla.
What's up, y'all?
Hey.
Sean, C-Lane, and lovely Sabrina. I'm glad you survived your birthday party.
Thank you.
Sounds like it was a hoot. Now, Sean, I'm with you on the man versus gorilla. 100 men, one gorilla should be able to overcome it.
Easy.
But there's some psychological and logistical challenges. Who are you going to convince to make the frontal attack on the gorilla? Because a good portion of them are not going to make it.
Operation
But I
Human
agree,
Shield.
once you subdue it, got him, game over. And if we can make rudimentary spears, that's allowed. Oh, forget it.
Yeah.
Gorilla be done. Pokey pokey. All right. Love the show, y'all.
Thank you, Not Your Average Joe. Appreciate the dispatch. Thank you for joining us. One more for now. Here's Chris B. Bacon.
Good afternoon, News Junkies. Sean, you're 100% correct about the lower level cruise lines. To add to that point as well, anytime people pay money like that, no matter how much or how little, and everything's included, they're on vacation, whatever.
Yeah.
They tend to think, oh, I can do this, I can do that. And it's like, no, you can't be a jackass.
They
You gotta
will,
follow
though.
rules or whatever you're doing.
Yeah. People don't like to follow rules is the problem, friend. I agree with you.
The guy that dispatched in, that was the entertainment director, he said that the place where that incident happened was in the cruise terminal, which had nothing to do with the actual cruise line. So I guess it was like
It was when they were disembarking.
Right. So he said it was like in the hands of customs and immigration officials and the Port Authority. So like they might be on a list where they can't sail.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the punishment wasn't doled out by the cruise line because the Port Authority was in charge of the security at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, so that would be even worse. And you're not just banned from Carnival for a little fight. You're banned for everybody. All because you couldn't keep your cool for 5 seconds.
Chill out.
Relax, bro. Just chill. Everybody. It's a shame because people don't like to be told to chill. But so many people in the United States of America need to chill.
Calm down, Sean.
You need to chill, but you're going to be prickly about this. You know, like I know I've said this to Courtney before. I'll be like, you need to chill. And she, don't tell me to chill. People don't like that. But honestly, why do you need to chill? Just a little bit. I like how somebody was saying on chat, the construction restaurant is sort of like, this is what work used to look like. Can you imagine some dude from the 60s who was like building skyscrapers in Midtown Manhattan, walking on them beams and stuff, risking his life. And then they go, hey, we'll go into pretend construction sites in the future and people will pretend like they're, putting themselves at risk.
I mean, I still think the closest thing to a construction site restaurant experience is the one where they dangle you 50 feet in the air.
Oh, no, thank you. No.
And then that one snap and everyone's drinks fell.
I don't see
die.
It may be because I don't like heights. I'm not like deathly afraid of heights, but I don't like heights that I completely dismiss that idea, Sabrina.
Oh, not about it. I have no interest.
I'm not going to enjoy my food. It could be like the best meal ever, but I don't think I would enjoy my food if I was suspended 80 feet in the air on this contraption.
That's why they serve the drinks first,
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can enjoy the drinks. I would need them. For sure.
If it's too loud of a setting on the ground, I can barely enjoy my food.
Sean wouldn't be able to enjoy the drinks because he would be drinking them so fast.
It's true. I can't say it won't. I want to tell you this, though. Hey, congratulations to Perry, who won the keyword contest.
Perry.
There you go.
Perry.
Look at you, Perry. They said you couldn't do it. They said there was too many people competing, and yet you won.
Not
when
true
you
at
hear
all.
the promo code on this station, when you hear the promo code, do what it says. You can get $1,000 just like Perry. The newest from Jordan Hudson, this says. Jordan Hudson has leaked a fiery Bill Belichick email after the CBS interview. Let's see what you got here for us. Jordan Hudson leaks fiery Bill Belichick email after CBS interview debacle. The former cheerleader shared on Instagram an email Belichick, 73, wrote to his staffers on April 10th amid his promo tour for his new memoir, in which he said he expected the media to hyper-focus on a quote in his book, which he said, "I effed up." He said, "I'm fine with putting mistakes in the book, but I'm certainly not surprised that at the 260-plus pages, that is what they would highlight." He's talking about career mistakes, et cetera, et cetera. Belichick asked his team if they could approve of headlines publications will use. You're probably not going to be able to do that. I don't know. How is this bad for her to release? Is she saying she was protecting him on that question? Because that might be it. Let's go directly to her post. She sent Bill Belichick's email out. She says, full statement to be released later today. Top comment. That's
she
cool
is acting like a manager.
But how did you and Bill meet? He says, I didn't think it's fantastic, but it will probably hype the book, which is clearly the ongoing theme here. There's a small chance that she's just doing this to hype up his book promotion too, which is working. If that's the case, that's what she's doing. Good for her.
Is she getting a cut?
I don't know. This is about what I expected from the media. We went through how important it was for me to put I effed up in the book. Of course, that's the feature of the article, which will mostly be about admitting mistakes and talking about a Super Bowl mistake. I effed up is the clickbait that they want to use for the story. We can expect the interviews and podcasts that will supposedly drive the sales will also come from similar examples. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, he was basically just saying he was worried about some of the questions he was going to get. And she posted the email out here, which I'm assuming is with the permission of all who were involved in that. Daddy Wonderful talks about gorillas versus humans and 100 humans versus a gorilla, the meme going around. Having seen an 85-pound gorilla fight a 265-pound man firsthand, with the gorilla not even showing any effort on his part. Where'd you see this?
This is a movie. This has
the
to be a
gorilla
movie.
beat the brakes off the guy. The man was extremely mad and fought to hurt the gorilla with no progress. 100 men will not beat a 450 to 500-pound gorilla. The first visual damage from a raging gorilla on the first few men will have about 85 men running for their lives, he says. He's not believing that the humans would outdo the gorilla, but we'll see what you think. Keep those dispatches and emails flowing in. When we come back, we'll get geared up for jury duty. That's on the way, including a man who got in trouble for doing something that seems like just a little bit of fun. Just trying to have a good time. We'll lead jury duty with that. But a woman versus a bear. We'll go from gorillas to bears. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
And I'm driving her nuts, so I got to stop.
But doesn't she just love grabbing onto your fatty areas?
Damn, Daisy. I thought you were my buddy.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a serious accident affecting all lanes where Highway 33 meets Glenwood Street. Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on Florida's Turnpike northbound near State Road 408. There's an earlier accident causing congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. Move over and slow down if you see police activity or emergency vehicles on the roadways this afternoon. And if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Florida Prepaid College Savings Plans. As the largest, most successful prepaid program in the nation, Florida Prepaid has helped 1.2 million Florida families successfully save for college. Let them help you. Open enrollment is now. Plans start at just $29 a month. Enroll today.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter.
Skull Mike. You guys stream the show on YouTube. So I don't know what crossover we have here, or you stream it on Twitch, versus the podcast. But I'm getting another round of people complaining about the skipping in the podcast. I have complained to the podcast software company and the iHeart and to the Suits a lot. What I get back over and over and over is we're not seeing this error. Can you get the information on what phones that they had? Were they on Wi-Fi or not on Wi-Fi? They want 800 questions answered to troubleshoot it. So I have to troubleshoot their problem. But if you podcast at all, tell me, are you still having these issues? Okay, I got to get an email real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And just a heads up, chat people, if you see anybody on any platform complaining about the podcast skipping, I hate that because we have so many people who listen to the podcast. And I do my best every single day to make sure everybody has as good of an experience listening to the show as possible. I seriously try to put as much effort as I can into it. It's very frustrating when things are beyond my control and the suits can't seem to get shit fixed. But if you find people that are struggling and complaining about that, respond that you've heard that YouTube is the best option. Because the YouTube replay of the show, which is always under featured on thenewsjunkie.com, all the latest streams are there, that is not going to skip for you. All right? Sean, can you change your Rainbow Kitty to something new? What, is it not cycling through everything anymore? Is it just doing that Rainbow Cat all the time? Now that you mention it, in a lot of screenshots, that's what I see. Is it just doing that over and over? Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. Hold on, gotta thank Greg, the aquarium guy. He's the best. Okay. It's literally just doing clock and then the cat, isn't it? It is! Why did you guys take so long to tell me about that? How am I supposed to know? It's behind me. Here's my schedule. What's going on? Okay, there it goes. I'm going to have to do this after the show. That's annoying. Something happened there. All right, we're coming back.
These symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Every morning brings a fresh, new energy. And no matter what the day holds, we come to the Today Show for all of it.
We get the best start to the day because we started together.
Watch the Today Show weekdays at 7 a.m. on NBC.
Every morning brings a fresh, new energy. And no matter what the day holds, we come to the Today Show for all of it.
We get the best start to the day because we started together.
Watch the Today Show weekdays at 7 a.m. on NBC.
Wilmer Valderrama and Freddie Rodriguez welcome another amigo to their podcast, Dos Amigos. Wilmer's friend and former That 70s Show castmate Topher Grace stops by the Speakeasy for a two-part interview to discuss his career and reminisce about old times.
We were still in that place of like, what will this experience become? And you go, you're having the best time you're ever going to have. Yeah. But it was like such a perfect golden time.
Listen to Dos Amigos on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dos Amigos.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com. Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GREEN. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
High diving face first into the world's most viral newsroom. This
And it's so good to be with you here today. We'll get to more of your input, your feedback, your dispatches, your emails. All of those things are coming up in just a bit on the show. And you can join us at any time with an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. If you want to be anonymous, put that right up on top. Tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Elizabeth emails. This is so frustrating, Elizabeth. I don't know what to tell you about this. I'm very frustrated just as a person who's trying to put a lot into a show right now. But Elizabeth says, where can I listen to your podcast where it doesn't skip around? Sometimes I don't get to hear the end of a very interesting story and it drives me crazy. Or sometimes it will just replay a segment that I just listened to. Can you guys please fix this issue? I love your show very much. I listen every day. Smiley emoji, says Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I have for at least a couple of years now complained about this issue. And when I complain about it to the suits or to the podcast software people, they continue to push back with like, this is not a known issue. We don't know that people are actually having this issue where their podcast skips around on them. And then I go, okay, let me get a whole bunch of emails. I'll say, get the people. Tell me what kind of phone they're on, what kind of connection they were on. What all the circumstances. Was it a stormy day? And I'll bring that information back. And they go, yeah, we're still not seeing it. So I know they're trying to gaslight you here and that there is a problem where things skip around from time to time. I'll tell you what I told somebody else recently. I'm sorry about that. Please try to muscle through. And I appreciate everybody who listens to the show on podcast. If that's happening to you, it's okay to email me. I'll keep fighting for you. I'll keep fighting to get that fixed because it's annoying and it shouldn't be happening. It's more complicated than most of you think. If you're just like, oh, you upload a podcast, it's pretty easy to make it not skip, dummy. You don't know how... That
was a fun impression, Sean. Let's keep it.
You don't know how live ad insertion works and like how these things work on a corporate level. There's something going wrong there. But here's the process. Number one, if the podcast is working fine for you, keep doing it how you're doing it. Awesome. Number two, if it's skipping, try downloading the episode and then streaming it straight from a download. The odds are you're losing a connection somewhere, and when it's reconnecting, it's trying to catch the file, and it's like grabbing it at a different point. So sometimes you might even want to download the podcast and then like disconnect from the internet and listen to it that way. Some of that's annoying. So step three, you can always go to thenewsjunkie.com and you'll see the YouTube video on demand from each day. And that stream should work perfectly for you with no glitches, no hiccups, no nothing. All right. That's the best I can tell you. I am honestly sorry. That's annoying. I will continue to bitch to the suits to try to get that fixed. I have a massive podcast and I want it to be a perfect experience for everybody. So thank you for your patience out there. Okay. Now, from people fighting about 100 men versus one gorilla to a woman who actually legitimately got into a fight with a beast out there in nature.
No other women involved?
It's a woman named Tristan Savage, which pretty cool last name.
Great last name for the situation.
Yeah, especially considering the circumstances. And she says this, the bear was just as scared as I was. Here's her story. Seminole County woman hits a bear with a bag of cookies after a close encounter that they had. Is this the bear? The bear's at the front door here. Is this him? This is the...
Does it look like it's attacking? It's looking like it's knocking.
Honestly, I'd be quite tempted to open the door for this guy. He's sitting on two legs, or standing on two legs, I should say. This bear's like got his
what kind of security system
face.
you guys have?
I don't know. This is maybe from another bear. Kristen Savage says she was walking her dog on Friday night, and she came face to face with a black bear. She said she was freaking out. She didn't know exactly what to do. Oh, we got a story on this. Hang on. Let's hear from the actual report.
Close
there.
encounter
Get some
with
details.
a black bear near her house. She says she was walking her dog when she came face to face with the animal in the Markham Woods area. She tells News 6 reporter Catherine Silver she is thankful she can tell her story and hopes it will help others.
Thank God. Damn.
At front doors and in driveways. Bears are often seen in the Sylvan Lake Reserve neighborhood. But what happened when Kristen Savage was walking her dog Friday night?
Ringo, my dog, and I were walking this direction.
Ringo. Is not so common.
Right here on the sidewalk.
You were almost home. This is the exact spot Savage says she encountered a bear.
So she's on the sidewalk walking her little dog, 13-pound Ringo, Chihuahua mix, and a bear comes up.
Imagine.
And they walked the news reporter to the exact spot where the bear attack happened. It'd be a real son of a bitch if that bear came back.
And Bear's just sitting there like,
they even brought Ringo back.
Ringo's like, what are we doing? Why are we back here?
I'd
We
like to
learned our
pee
lesson.
inside from now, please.
Yeah, Ringo's so small compared to this bear. 100 Ringos couldn't take out one of those bears. That much is
Okay,
very,
but
very true.
1,000 Ringos could.
1,000 Ringos, one bear? Yeah, maybe because like Ringo can do damage to the bear. Chihuahua's still able to do damage and like bite the ankles and stuff.
But are the Chihuahuas going to work together?
They could.
I don't know. They would have to. They would be forced to in the circumstance.
But do Chihuahuas work together?
I know Yorkies do because I follow a lot of accounts in which someone has 15 Yorkies and they all do the same thing.
They all fight together? Or they all fight on the same team?
Sit at the same time. They all wear cute little outfits that match.
All right, let's see what else happened here with this lady.
I was looking for the bird in the tree, and then I see a black thing come at my leg, and I thought it was an off-leash dog at first. And then I realized it was a giant bear head. And she went across for Ringo, and I just pulled him away, and eventually I had him hanging in the air, dangling around.
On the leash,
Yes, on the leash. So I had him up in the air like this, and she would chase him, so I was spinning in a circle.
Is Ringo on a harness, I hope?
Ringo's on a harness and floating in the air as this bear is like looking at him like a little snack out there. And that's what you got to do. The thing that sucks
CNJ
is...
Forge calls it a 13-pound yappy meal. I like it.
The thing that sucks about this is if something like this happens with Lady, she's the right size or the wrong size, I might say. I can't pick her up like that. I'd have to pick her up with my two arms and like
Carl's perfect for it.
Carl, you can bring up in the air like this, but she says she lifts him straight up.
When I spun around so many times, I fell and got my leg cut up pretty good.
Those cuts and bruises are still healing, and Ringo is somehow okay.
Thank God.
Savage says it was over within minutes.
I had remembered my mom, she lives right down the street, just stopped and handed me a bag of cookies out of her windows for my kids. And when I remembered I had them in my hand, I took the bag and I whacked the bear across the face.
She ran to the front.
Some hard-ass cookies.
She's walloping the bear
Those
with
are
the
not
cookies.
soft chews by any means.
Ma'am, you got to bring some kind of bear spray with you. You need something better as far as weapons go.
Well, let's be clear. She got a bunch of cuts and scrapes, and I do not believe it's from the bear.
No, it's from falling because she
Yeah.
spun around. Yeah, she's spinning around hiding from him.
Front door. And the bear was seen
There he
walking
is. That's
away
him.
on her neighbor's security camera.
I don't put blame on the bear. I'm sure she was just as scared as I was.
State wildlife
She doesn't look very
officers say the
scared.
number of bear interactions is actually decreasing in Seminole County.
Damn, we got to watch out there. We got to be careful. But she walloped this thing with some cookies, and the bear went away, and she was able to save her little dog Ringo.
What kind
there.
of cookies?
Mama's cookies.
Ain't
Her
no
mom dropped the
chocolate chip.
cookies off.
Probably some nasty ones.
Whatever it was, everybody's alive, thank God, today. And Kristen Savage, congrats. Watch out next time. Bring that bear spray with you. You could do that. I think there's like just a general spray that you could have for anything, like a dog, a bear, a human, whatever that's going to come at you.
But then you end up having that dog leash that looks like a janitor's keychain. It's the poop bags, a flashlight, poop bag holder, bear spray, cell phone.
But in a pinch, you got what you need.
The poop.
Where do you get bear spray?
Amazon.
Is there a place that I could go on the way
Bearspray.com.
home and not
Bear
Amazon?
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Amazon's got
Bass Pro Shop.
full self-defense. Oh, this can clip on your belt loop, which would be cool looking.
Told
You
you.
have it clipped on there. They got something called bad guy repellent.
Cool looking to who?
You don't think that'd be cool? Right on the edge of your pants there, and you got this is Vexor pepper spray, maximum strength, 20-foot range. You could be squirting that thing from 20 feet away and getting these animals.
Ladies.
Whatever it is you're going for. It's non-lethal, and this doesn't say it's for animals in particular, but I assume that it will work on a bear or
Listen,
whatever.
I took down a cockroach with hairspray this morning.
Oh, did
Like
you?
Anything hurts.
Yeah. This is specifically for bear
Hairspray and fire, or just hairspray?
Just hairspray. It was very high up on the wall.
This is bear deterrent, actually made for bears, for guarding yourself. 30-foot fog barrier. Okay, Savage? Get this. This is the good stuff. It'll keep you safe, I promise. I don't actually promise. Oh, wait, what? Sorry, this item cannot be shipped to your selected address due to local laws.
Thanks a lot, DeSantis.
Why? We can't have bear spray? How are we supposed to protect ourselves out there?
See? You see,
rubbish.
you made it sound like I was crazy for asking where to get bear spray. Amazon.
Why is it banned? They only let us use the horn?
Yeah,
you could buy
you're
a
gonna look like a
horn?
real idiot when a bear's nomming on your leg because you have an
Dumbass
air
honking.
horn going on.
Giving somebody a horn for bears is like giving a security guard a whistle.
Someone help me!
They can't carry a gun.
Bear attack!
It's just going to attract a larger audience to the bear eating you in public. That's all you're going to get out of this. 1.4 ounce bear horn. I can't get the spray. I don't like this.
Is that what you want for your
not good.
birthday?
I
I
don't
do
know.
have 0 bears around you.
No, I haven't seen any just yet. But people talk about, I think half of them are crazy. People talk about the coyotes all the time in this neighborhood.
I saw 2. Remember?
Coyote.
It was like
They're-
5 a.m.
I know they're out there. I have not encountered one yet, but no bears. No bears in our neighborhood. If you have a bear neighborhood, what do you do to protect yourself? Let us know. And why can't we get bear spray? Send a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. When we come back with jury duty, a man had what I think is a very sweet idea. But you know how the police can be with laws and such. They have told this man, you can't do that. And he's been accused of multiple things. What did he do? And are you going to support him? That's what we'll find out next, because that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Magic must win tonight to keep their season alive. They visit the Knicks trailing their first round series 3-1. East top seed Cleveland is into round 2. They swept Miami, burying the Heat by 55 in the Game 4 clincher. Also last night, the Warriors now up 3-1 after edging Houston. NHL playoffs, the Panthers scored the tying and go-ahead goals 11 seconds apart in the third period. They beat the Lightning, going up 3-1. I'm Matt McCoy.
That feeling of owning your first Mercedes-Benz is hard to believe, but it's real. From the leather stitching to the iconic design, every element of a Mercedes lives up to its reputation. See for yourself at your local dealer. Offers are waiting.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite, life-changing dentistry.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news, commercial and SBA loan rates are falling too. Get a quote to refinance your business loan today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Hey, we all think about buying a house instead of renting a house, right? But do you realize that you're renting electricity every month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching the prices rise year after year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power or solar source? And start with that pool heater solar. It is awesome. I'm thrilled to say Solar Source, you can do the pay-as-you-go plan where you can save each month starting at just $99. Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years with the same phone number since 1984. Ask about the battery backup option to protect you during a storm season. It's Solar Source.
At International Diamond Center, we're all about family. And no one plays a more important role in the life of any family than Mom. She's the rock, the hero, the one that holds it all together. So we invite you to help us celebrate the mothers in our lives with the perfect Mother's Day gift and a little something extra. We've put together a special collection of jewelry just for Mom. We've set aside these carefully selected items so there's no guesswork. You can stop in, shop with ease, and get Mom a timeless gift she's sure to love. And to make it really special, with any purchase of $249 or more, we'll give you a $50 spa gift card so she can use it to treat herself to a day of pampering and relaxation. So come join us at IDC. Help us say a big thank you to the mothers in our lives with a gorgeous bracelet, maybe a pair of diamond earrings, a colored gemstone ring, or a piece from our Perfect Love collection. Buy the jewelry and we'll throw in the $50 spa treat at no charge. Happy Mother's Day from International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Mall of Millenia, and Waterford Lakes. Online, shop IDC.com.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. Not everyone who handles your personal information is as careful as you are, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the United States. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock will monitor hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. And if your identity's stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
What if I can guarantee the price of Bitcoin will be $1 million in 2030? Well, I can't, but I can guarantee you'll save a lot of money on blinds at my company, Blindster.com. Free samples, free shipping, and guaranteed to fit. Shop at Blindster.com today.
Your direct line to the heroes that saved Canada that one time.
Tell people about the News Junkie Radio Show podcast and live stream. Simply hitting the like button if you're over on YouTube is a real helpful thing, and it takes like nothing out of your day, okay? Super easy for you to do. Go give it a shot over on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. M emails the show. A lot of people have been responding to the story I was talking about where I said, I think a lot of parents who don't have kids in the teenage years don't realize it. But right now, it is more common than ever that parents will allow their teenage kids to drink and have a party at their house under the guise of it being safer. And like, we'll have the kids drink here. We know they're going to do it anyways. It is really common right now.
I thought it was less common for teenage kids to drink in the first place. I thought those numbers were going down.
We've seen that like binge drinking and a lot of drinking has gone down for Gen Z and some of these other generations, which is probably a step in the right direction. That's probably a good thing. But there's still a lot of them that are drinking. And I'm sure some of them even that are doing these THC drinks that are getting more and more popular out there.
Party time.
Those are a whole nother thing. But M says, hey, junkies, I have hated these types of parents, the types of parents that would let the kids drink, ever since I was a kid myself, long before I ever had a child of my own. I have a younger sister who started partying and who knows what else as a young teen. I know for a fact she had friends who had parents that let this happen at their home. Even then, I was so upset that there were adults that were allowing this. in addition to my own parents turning their heads. The message you just read is from Anonymous. So, the message you just read from Anonymous is so disgusting and weird. Adults living vicariously through kids. Puke emoji. Get a grip. M says. Anonymous earlier emailed and said, "Hey, we drink with these teenagers who are now like the group of them about 20, and
Anonymous
we don't even
didn't have kids, by the way.
Yeah, they didn't. They were just hanging out over another house where parents did allow the teens to drink and party in a safe zone." And he said they weren't even doing it because it was safe. They were doing it because they like to party with the teens.
Does he know that the parents aren't doing that because it's safe? Or is this just his or her, I don't know, it's anonymous, opinion?
I don't know. I only know what was in that email. And they said, hey, we've had this group of kids. They started drinking around us, and we're adults. They started drinking around 16. Now they're 20. We watch movies. We hang out. They're cool. We don't even do it to keep them safe. We just do it because they're a fun group to hang out with.
I do think that there's something...
that is weird, though.
I don't think it's super weird. I think there's something positive about teaching kids at that age to have a respect for alcohol, because if they don't, you know, if they're the kind of kids that like
yakking at the club,
sneak it, steal it, or you're driving around making terrible choices.
Yeah, but that all falls down under the category of what we were talking about before, which is like keeping the kids safe is a better excuse.
Absolutely.
Just saying you just want to party with the teens and drink with them, that's weird. That seems more weird.
It's a weird way of putting that.
And or just being
honestly, like I always looked at like the European model where like the parents can have that choice legally.
Yeah.
To say like, all right, you can have a glass of wine with dinner. All right, you can do this under our supervision. You know, this is okay. And the law allows for that rather than, criminally, making criminals of parents that try to teach somebody the right way to approach this.
If you do that in the U.S., you think you get CPS called on you?
You can, absolutely.
Child Protective Services, you think?
I don't know about, you just
put it on TikTok,
you could be arrested for contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
So to Sabrina's point, if you're having a party and your parents are filming and you're on TikTok, you're like, the kids are okay. Don't worry. We let them have a couple of White Claws. We keep them safe here at the house. All right, like and subscribe. And somebody sees that and they go to CPS, I think you might be getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I think you might get in trouble for that, even though, I don't know, there's sort of the only one that I definitely think is weird is Anonymous saying that I just like to party with him. That comes off as weird to me. We'll see what you think. We'll continue with your feedback right now. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one and only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. If you get into an accident, all you need to do is reach out to your friend. You've heard him on the show many a times, and he's ready to fight for you. 800-CALL-MO or justcallmo.com. From KTRE, that means, because it's got a K, it is west of the Mississippi in Lufkin, Texas, in fact.
Yeah.
A Texas man is in trouble. A Texas man is accused of devising a scavenger hunt with Easter eggs. And I say to you,
Isn't that just an Easter egg hunt?
That sounds like an Easter egg hunt. Yes.
Scavenger means you get clues or something, right?
Yeah, it's just like hiding Easter eggs, basically. But it continues. It had 5 plastic Easter eggs that this guy left behind, and they were filled with marijuana.
Ooh.
Lufkin police say Avante Nicholson is accused of planting the eggs in 3 parks and behind a Motel 6 on Easter. It said on his Facebook page, he put a bunch of weed in these plastic eggs and then hid them in these locations. And I guess you're not allowed to do this. 4 of the 5 plastic eggs were recovered by police. A man and his granddaughter discovered the 5th egg in a park the day after Easter and took it to the police station.
Oh, fun suckers.
And the 5 eggs that they found, the deliveries totaled more than a 1/4 ounce of marijuana. So it seems like they were pretty full, these little eggs of weed, each one of them.
Each
4
had a
warrants.
quarter? Oh, all together.
Altogether, it was 1/4 ounce of marijuana in 5 eggs. 3 of the warrants against him are third-degree felony delivery of marijuana in a drug-free zone because of the park, I guess. The 4th is a state jail felony for delivery of marijuana. You can't do it. He wanted to have a little Easter fun. He put some weed in the eggs and hit them out in these places, and the cops said, no, no, no. That is illegal, sir.
Did he have specific people that were trying to find them, or was this just like a, hey, it's in the park, anybody can find this?
Have a good time, man.
They said he talked about it on his Facebook page and he hid them, and he also referenced selling narcotics on his Facebook page as well.
Smart. That's,
you guys do know, like, people can see your posts, right? You guys know this? It's on social media.
Facebook,
people
Instagram, Twitter. Y'all see this?
see those posts out there. Just in case you didn't know.
Snapchat, though. It goes away.
It fades away right after the cops see it. In this case, Facebook timeline got some weed, just posting it right out there. When we return, we'll see what you think about all of this. Was that a great idea? Tell us. Send us a dispatch. Also, the 4 a.m. wake up under attack, how to lose $60 million in 5 seconds, and birthday suit bandit. All of them entering the show before we wrap things up here on a Share the Show Tuesday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's an accident on the ramp from Florida's Turnpike northbound to exit 242, a crash affecting all lanes on Orange Avenue northbound at Cayley Street. All lanes are blocked there. Emergency crews are clearing up a serious accident on State Road 33 southbound near Glenwood Street. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
The Jim Colbert Show would like you to join us for brunch. This ain't your grandma's brunch, honey, and it's about to get wild. Join Jim and Jack on May 4th for a Sunday fun day you won't forget at Osprey Restaurant. We're talking pastries, raw bar, brunch, beverages from the bar, and burlesque.
Burlesque?
Yep, featuring the seductive sass of corsets and cuties. Think feathers, fringe, and prizes.
Prizes for burlesque?
No, the prizes are for feisty trivia. It's all going down at Osprey Restaurant Sunday, May 4th, 11 a.m. sharp. Seats are limited, and this brunch will sell out. So grab your crew and get ready to sip, snack, and get saucy with the Jim Colbert Show's Boozy Brunch. Get tickets now at realradio.fm/brunch.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Every morning brings a fresh, new energy.
This is Today with
And no matter what the day holds, we come to the Today Show for all of it.
When things are tough, we talk about it. When there's something to figure out, we dig into it. And when there's joy, we celebrate it.
Because today is where it's all happening. We get the best start to every morning because we started together.
Watch The Today Show with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin, weekdays at 7 a.m. on NBC.
Let's be honest, Mom doesn't want another candle. She wants her favorite cocktails on demand. Meet Bartesian, the sleek cocktail maker that crafts premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Cosmo, pineapple margarita, old-fashioned. She's got options. So this year, skip the thoughtful gifts collecting dust in a drawer and give her the one she'll use all year long. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartesian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom. That's the one. Because nothing says I love you like a cocktail tailored to her.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit CrushYard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. Although it's April, please don't be fooled. There could be lurking issues in your body that you have no idea exist. And here's the cool thing. Life Imaging FLA and their free heart scan can tell you what those things are. That's right. That's called being proactive, not reactive. And that could save your life. And when you consider that 1 out of 3 people will die of a heart attack, and in 30 to 40% of those cases, the very first symptom is sudden death, it makes this a no-brainer. Get that peace of mind through prevention like I did, like my in-laws did, and like so many people in Central Florida have done. Go to Life Imaging FLA, get this free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699 value, and it could not be easier to make your appointment. Simply pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say the keyword free heart scan. That is it. Pound 250, say the keyword free heart scan. They'll connect you in seconds. Then make that appointment and change your long-term outlook for your long-term health. You have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money, MONEY, money. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Where breaking news meets broken people. This is the News Junkie.
Things. We'll get to that in just a little bit here on the show as we roll on to the final hour of a Share the Show Tuesday. It is the News Junkie, the 3 best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. And we're pleased to have you with us on this journey. I got this story in just a moment, but there's more now coming out about Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. It seems like this is going to be the distraction of the moment. Everybody's just like popping out stories every 5 seconds about this.
Why not?
This says from New York Post, alarmed by CBS disaster, Bill Belichick insiders say girlfriend Jordan Hudson is a runaway train. And that's the quote they're going with. It says, even before this weekend's embarrassing CBS interview, in which Jordan Hudson made it clear who's wearing the pants in her romance with Bill Belichick.
Shots fired.
The legendary football coach's friends were shaking their heads. Hang on. Weren't the friends just shaking their heads at the fact that there was a 50-year age gap between the two of them, right?
Which friends?
Shouldn't the head shaking have started at that? Like, no matter what, 50 years is an age gap that's going to make it so there's hard things. That
I don't know. When you're Bill Belichick, you probably surround yourself with people that don't have a problem with stuff like that.
Great job, Billy.
Yes,
You're
Coach.
doing great. It says the legendary football coach's friends were shaking their heads. They are talking to him about her, but very gently, because they no doubt how deep in he is. Of her, they said, she saw an opening and she took it, the insider said about Hudson
Backdoor
24.
stuff?
And she's inserted herself into every aspect of Bill Belichick's life and career.
Yes.
The consensus among people around him is that the relationship is alarming and she is a runaway train. I love the photos of her over at that little desk during the CBS Sunday morning interview. Her little station over there.
Staring right into our souls.
She's like, I am watching and I am in control over here. So, yeah, I bet there's people talking smack in his inner circle. But
whatever.
He's letting her do it. This is what he wants to happen, I'm assuming. I don't view it this way. I don't think that Bill Belichick is being tortured behind the scenes and being led astray by a 26-year-old at gunpoint or something. I think he's like, trade-off is I'm sleeping with a 26-year-old and she is going to do this stuff for me and I don't care. That seems like where we're at there. But a lot of stories being ginned up about that. Meanwhile, let's talk about this, something entirely differently. And this is a story from the Wall Street Journal. And it says, the 4 a.m. wake up is not just for Superman CEOs anymore. And now they're saying that anybody who wants to be successful should be rocking it and waking up at 4 a.m. And I want to state for the record that I do believe that Sabrina and C-Lane should wake up at 4 a.m. every morning. I, however, am going to pass on that. I am a hard pass on waking up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or you should not be, nobody in our culture, nobody out there in the United States of America should be waking up before 7 a.m. local time. All the jobs should start at 9. You should wake up at 7, get everything you need to get done. 4 a.m. is crazy town. The human brain is not prepared for this. And it just honestly seems unhealthy to me. That's what I think about this.
We love all the morning shows.
The Wall Street Journal says otherwise. They say there's almost a kind of arms race between different executives and self-styled business leaders.
Yeah, okay, right.
Of who can claim the highest average workload. So people who are going like, I work 80 hours a week. I work 90 hours a week.
I thought the whole point about being executive was you already put in your time working those long hours, and now you're supposed to be coasting.
What's happening at 4 a.m.? Nothing. Nothing is happening at 4 a.m. You want to max your day out? Wake up at 7 a.m. and just work longer. Work longer. All right, take a break around noon. Take some time, go to the gym. Have a longer lunch. Then go back and put in more hours for your day. But there is nothing that is going to convince me, because I've done this before, that waking up at 4 a.m. makes sense for anybody. We don't need it. We don't need anything going on at that period of time. I feel like the whole world should shut down
Can you imagine
for a while and just chill.
You're going to open up your email, your work email at 8 a.m., and you see from the big boss an email from 4 a.m. That's all caps urgent.
Boo!
It's insane.
I'm not even looking at that for hours and hours and hours.
You know what blows my mind is that there are service industry people, services is what we call them, that finish up their shift at 4 a.m.
That can be okay.
I am humbled and will.
I don't
could never.
I don't want to do that either, Sabrina, but I'm saying that can be okay because if we've got to have different shifts. We got to have like our morning shift and our night shift. And if the night shift people want to go tie one on afterwards and the bar people want to do like a late shift and get money out of those folks, okay, but everybody needs to go home at some point in time. Maybe 2 a.m. Everybody go home at 2 a.m. What are you doing? Go home, chill out. Everybody needs to chill out. That's the message of the day here.
There you go.
All right?
Sean
Everybody, you need to chill. And when you go home and chill out, you sleep. You sleep for a while. We don't need anybody at the gas stations at 4 a.m. We don't need anybody running the tolls for the interstate. The whole thing should shut down. And then
that's
pop
what
back
España
up.
does, right?
Pop back up at 7 o'clock. Well, they just do a siesta. They just, in the middle of the day, take a nice break-a-rooney like you wouldn't believe, which I'm fine with that. Like, work from 9 to 7 or 7 to 5, or like we'll put those extra hours in, get a little padding with some free time in the middle of your day, but don't wake up at 4 a.m. Honestly, that shows me that you're a loser. That shows me that you're dumb because you're saying
people
you
don't
can't
have a choice, Sean. Come on.
Yeah, everyone has a choice.
No, certain industries,
Who?
they don't. They're overnight people.
I don't understand you sometimes. In what world does somebody not have a choice of waking up at 4 a.m.?
Because their industry involves work that has to be done when the public are not around. Construction workers.
Construction workers work during the day. If they work at night too, I don't think many of these construction workers are doing too much at 4 a.m., even though they got the overnight workers. I don't want that. We don't need to be doing that.
Well, do you want a crappy theme park you're walking around during the normal business hours?
No, they build that thing during the day. They built that thing with the sunshine hitting them and enjoying themselves. This is not like the reality of life. You don't have to wake up at 4 o'clock. Everybody out there could find a job where you don't wake up at 4 o'clock. It's just not the case that you're forced into, like, capitalism has pinned you against the wall and I must wake up at 4 a.m. No way, man. We should reject that for all it's worth. There should be nothing going on at that time. But a lot of these business people really want to push for it.
So the radio station should be silent?
Yes.
Play the playlist?
Yes. At 4 a.m., you know how many people are listening to the radio at 4 a.m.? Truckers. A couple of truckers. The guys who work the security gates at gated neighborhoods who are just looking for a little bit of companionship and music during their time. So it's a small crew of people that is up that late. I know. I used to wake up that late every single I should say every single morning. Used to wake up and go do a radio show. 5 a.m. Ghost Town City, baby. Wasn't anybody with me at that time. It was rough. In the meantime, before we get into your feedback on this and everything else, let's see what's going on. The U.S. has made a bit of a mistake. It happens. The United States is a big country. We make some mistakes. They have an aircraft carrier that's out there on the ocean, as you might expect it to be. The Harry S. Truman, USS Harry S. Truman, big ship, I'm sure. And they said, little accident. An FA-18 Super Hornet fighter jet fell off the aircraft carrier.
Ooh.
Whoopsie.
Slipped in.
Was it
the brakes on it?
Was it listing pretty badly?
It said the ship came under fire from Houthi rebels, and then something happened, and the carrier dropped the ship into the ocean. The FA-18 was actively under tow in the hangar bay when the move crew lost control of the aircraft. The aircraft and tow tractor were lost overboard, so the plane just goes overboard. And as you're watching that go, that's $60 million that's just plopping into the ocean. And
they can't just put it in a giant bag of rice.
Do you get in trouble if you're like in the Army or you're in the Navy in this case?
Not if you're trying to get away from enemy fire, I wouldn't think. Unless you if you made an irresponsible decision evading the enemy fire and you lose a $67 million jet. Then
what if you just screw up? If you just make a mistake and the plane goes overboard, you don't go like the brig. I think it's just like making a mistake in a regular workplace where you might get fired or something. Although they probably wouldn't even fire you. They got you all the way out there in the ocean. Military folks, my fellow military brethren, you know where I come from in my level of service. Now on to you. You might have a little bit more knowledge about the Navy. What would happen if you were responsible? This $60 million fighter jet slinks into the ocean and you go, ooh, made a mistake there. Sorry about that. Let us know what the punishment would probably be. Okay. Also, a birthday suit bandit popping into the news.
I saw this guy this morning.
Did you? I'm going to try to bring up the story
Full
from
nude?
Fox. Naked Florida man.
He was
it
pretty
says.
naked.
It says birthday suit bandit. The naked Florida man caught trying to break into a woman's home, deputies say. And I see some body cam footage or like arrest footage. Let's
A
see.
developing story out of Flagler County tonight. A man is arrested after trying to break into someone's house. John Brown joining us live in studio tonight. So, John, this man had a unique outfit for this attempted murder.
Come on, buddy.
Thereof, right, Marley? So this man put in handcuffs wearing nothing but his birthday suit. This is 63-year-old Matthew Hunter of Palm Coast. Now, according to the arrest report,
He's straight up naked getting arrested. You're a grown man. Come on. What's happening here, bud?
This video. A woman saw Hunter outside of her home, completely naked, trying to break into the house. The woman called 911 after she heard what appeared to be a knife trying to cut through the lock of her storm door.
Where did he put that
Flagler
knife?
County Sheriff's Office says that they went to conduct a welfare check at this man's house. They found his wife inside with the door locked. His wife says that Hunter was actively drinking and on medication. And she also had no idea he had left the house.
She didn't even know he was gone. He's roaming the
See
neighborhood
his
naked.
pile of clothes by the front door?
Dude, that's weird. And what's the end goal there? Is you don't? There's no way that he thinks this is just going to work out for him, and somebody's going to be like, "Thank God you cut your way into my place."
No, but I would love to hear what the end goal was in his mind at the moment. Like, there must be a moment as he's
I have some theories.
sobering up. But he's like, where did you think you were, bud?
I feel like this guy was on his way to Rape Town. I think that's where he was headed, trying to like cut into people's windows. And there's no shot that this is the first time this guy has tried to do this. There's no way. Like, oh, I'm totally normal. I've never made this mistake, but tonight I just had 15
There's
allotted.
First time for everything.
True, but is this his right here? Is this the night? Fully nude, getting arrested. Damn.
What's going on, bro?
I just came over to talk to you.
You're walking around the street
yes,
naked.
I know. Why do you
You're
sit
breaking
down?
into.
He's like, yeah, I know. I love being naked and getting arrested and then blaming the weirdness on somebody else. So I'm like, yeah,
I was coming to talk to
obviously.
you, clearly.
Jesus.
Don't you all have one of those silver blankets?
What's your problem? Give me the space blanket. I just want to be a little warmer. That's what he was up to.
By
this
the way,
particular.
those work like a dream.
Do they?
When
I
we
never
went-
used one of them.
When we went camping a couple months back, and it was so cold out of nowhere, I had that in my camping pack.
Mm-hmm.
They are very warm.
What's it made out of? It looks like aluminum foil or something.
It's kind of the same material you would use as tissue paper in a gift box, but it was very warm. And I guess if
Does it
I
make
was
noise?
yeah, a lot of noise. And
Yeah.
if I was in complete darkness and someone was looking for me, very bright orange.
Oh, you don't want that either. Yeah. But I mean, it would have been good to put it on the naked guy.
Oh,
Was it like
that-
Agent
no.
Orange?
Like the construction workers used back in Vietnam. Absolutely.
All right,
Full
let's
circle.
go. Let's go over to you. Actually, we'll wait for the next segment to get your dispatches in. We do want to hear what you have to say. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick, because we talked about it at the time, and I always like to give you the updates as they happen. Way back when, there was a hockey player who got arrested on suspicion of manslaughter because on the ice.
Oh.
Remember this? The guy who did the spin around and the
Sliced his neck.
Yeah, his skate sliced the other guy's neck, and the hockey player, died. Well, they've finally
His capo was
wrapped up-
detained?
His capo was indeed detained. They've wrapped up the investigation, and even though this guy ended up dying, Adam Johnson, the person arrested on suspicion of manslaughter, defenseman Matt Petgrave, has been told he will not face any legal charges. They will not bring any criminal charges against him, which I guess is understandable, because if you have to prove that this person willfully did this and that this wasn't an accident happening, it's going to be a problem for a lot of sports. You get into the boxing ring, you punch somebody a little too hard and they end up dying. It happens. It doesn't happen super often, but it definitely
But
happens.
spin kicks to the
Spin
throat
kick with
don't
it.
often happen in hockey.
The problem is, I think he would just go like, I was trying to maintain my balance and I
I
didn't
thought
mean to
this was
do
figure
it.
skating. My bad.
I thought I got extra points for a double, triple axel or whatever. The guy is not facing any charges, so he got away with it, even if you think he murdered him.
Also got, during his return to the ice, or maybe his team's first home game
He did it
since
again?
the collision. No. He got a standing ovation.
No, did he really? They liked him?
I think we talked about that.
Does he have like a nickname now?
I don't know. Petgrave received a standing O at his team's first home game since the collision with Adam Johnson that resulted in Johnson's death. Albeit Petgrave did not feature in his team's roster for the game, he was subject to online racial attacks in the aftermath of the incident.
Damn.
Tonyo
All right.
slicing.
Ryan on YouTube says he kicks so blatantly. I watch hockey and I've never seen anybody kick that high. Kevin says, like bringing a knife to a track meet. That story's been quiet for a little while. I think there just hasn't been any actual news updates to it. Although I cannot tell you how much misinformation there is about that story out there. Like the track and field stabbing story has more fake news and fantasy fan fiction written about it than virtually anything I've
It
ever seen.
started with a fake death certificate, right? Or
They
something
did,
like that.
Yeah, early on, yeah. I've seen these people so mad about this track and field stabbing story, and they're all hyped up on anger. They need to chill. They're hyped up on anger for things that aren't true. Like somebody said, what's his name? Who
Carmelo
cried at
Anthony?
his, no, cried at his sentencing. Not Kyle Kalinske. That's a different guy. He's a political dude.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse. Thank you. Somebody said Kyle Rittenhouse killed 3 black men and got away with it. And they were all hyped up about this and talking about this case. And I was like, God damn it. Some of these people don't know anything about anything. Kyle Rittenhouse didn't kill any black people, okay? It wasn't the issue at hand. It wasn't what happened here. Not a single one of those people was black. People are hyped up on things. They're angry as can be. They're mad. And they're mad about things that just aren't true. It seems to be very commonplace out there, but that case has been quiet for at least the last couple of days here. We'll see. Maybe there's updates on that soon. When we come back, we will get to you in those emails, those dispatches, the feedback you're sending in. And somebody finally took my idea. I told you could fix things. I told you it wouldn't be that hard. And somebody finally did it. What is it? We'll find out. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Emergency crews are clearing up an accident on the ramp from Florida's Turnpike northbound to US 192, exit 242. There's a serious accident getting cleared up here on Highway 33 southbound at Glenwood Street. Keep an eye out for an accident on Orange Avenue at Cayley Street. Move over and slow down if you see police activity or emergency vehicles on the roadways this afternoon. And if you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Fairwinds Credit Union. Financial freedom happens here. Fairwinds Credit Union. Whether you need personal or business accounts to help you reach your goals, they've got you covered. Visit fairwinds.org to join their community of financial freedom seekers today. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
Here's a pro tip for you. When it comes to your house, being a homeowner is great. It's something that you can really lean on in terms of the future yourself and, your legacy. Pass this on to your kids and stuff. But there's some scary things about it. Like, what if the expensive stuff breaks? Now there's no landowner for you to call, some homeowner that you can yell at and say, hey, we need this fixed. I need the refrigerator or the air conditioning. I need it fixed pronto. Now you got to fix it. So when you're paying the bill, you want to make sure you're working with a company that is fair, that's honest, that's going to take care of you, that doesn't care about just getting as much money out of you one time. They want to make sure that they work with you for a very long time, and those fair arrangements keep you coming back. That's how they are at Mills Air. They are awesome. They do their best to keep people like you nice and cool and comfortable. Their techs are superior by far to every other AC company out there. Trust me, these are nice folks. They're polite. You'll want them inside your house and have no problem with them. They'll look at your AC from top to bottom and report back, and it's just fantastic. The preventative maintenance plan they have is a must-have for all homeowners. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Give them a call. Here's the number. 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Get ready for the ultimate poker and party experience. May 1st through the 4th, Orange City Poker hosts the Almighty Stack Tournament, boasting a massive $100,000 starting stack and an unbelievable $100,000 guaranteed prize pool. And that's not all. Join us at Daytona Beach Poker Saturday, May 3rd for a free Derby Day party featuring funk and country. Celebrate the Kentucky Derby in style with live music, great food, drink specials, and nonstop action. Big stacks, big party, big wins. Be there.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call Trajan today, 407-213-0000. 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crush Yard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now for an exclusive radio offer at 321-259-8000. Solid Bite, life-changing dentistry.
This is an ad for Roundup for Lawns. It kills weeds down to the root without harming your lawn. It works on crabgrass, dandelions, clover. It works on weeds with names you can't even pronounce. It's Roundup for Lawns. When used as directed, always read and follow pesticide label directions.
Every morning brings a fresh, new energy.
This is Today.
And no matter what the day holds, we come to the Today Show for all of it.
When things are tough, we talk about it. When there's something to figure out, we dig into it. And when there's joy, we celebrate it.
Because today is where it's all happening. We get the best start to every morning because we started together.
Watch The Today Show with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin, weekdays at 7 a.m. on NBC.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Okay, don't freak out. Chappell Roan is here, and she is unfiltered on Las Culturistas. I gotta warn you, there is no topic off limits. Plus, Kate Cassidy breaks her silence on Purpose with Jay Shetty. She talks about Liam Payne, and it's an episode you do not want to miss. Plus, Amy Lou Wood drops by On Air with Ryan Seacrest, and she says she felt pretty ugly after learning her casting process for White Lotus.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. M-O-N-E-Y, money. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
A safe haven of sorts for all of the 95%ers. This is
What in just a moment. A couple of people chiming in about our last segment. We'll talk about that. Also, Frankie McDonald is out there doing his thing.
Oh, he just had a birthday.
McDonald.
Happy birthday, buddy.
He's been celebrating Mr. Frankie McDonald has of late. And I don't want to judge, but he looks like he's packing on a couple of pounds. He does. He looks like
Is it
he's
because
been...
they opened that Popeyes?
Oh, he's rich.
It could be he loves Popeyes. My guy, Frankie McDonald, will not stop talking about Popeyes. He is a big fan of Popeyes. And he is chronicling the building of a Popeyes location near him. If you don't know Frankie McDonald, he's a guy who's been on our show a couple of times. He is a big fan of weather, all things weather.
You still
and
have
he
his
has a
number?
popular YouTube channel. Yeah, I got him. Yeah, he also answers DMs like crazy. So, like, if you message him, he's always messaging back, and he says, sweet, sweet boy. He's a nice guy. He makes these videos, and the latest is just another one where he's eating the invisible hot dogs. I think that's a weird move. I don't know if he should do it, but he does them. He's got his hot dog videos. He's bigger, though. That's for safety.
He's getting older,
Okay,
man.
guys, we're going to do it. Guy tries to eat 60 hot dogs.
60?
at once.
Jesus, Frankie.
Is that a record? 60 hot dogs for
'Cause
Frankie?
He started with 25, I believe. The last one, and I believe the one that I have the clip for was 50 hot dogs.
60 is a lot of hot dogs to be fake eating here for your social media accounts. Here he goes. Brace yourself.
Barbecue.
Oh, barbecue
barbecuing.
sauce. Oh,
Yep,
just
he's cooking
barbecuing
them.
Hot dogs in the barbecue.
Oh,
He's cooking
God,
them all.
sorry.
Sauce. Putting shredded cheese on it.
Shredded cheese? What?
Putting onions
and
lettuce and things like this.
Well, you're making this a...
What kind of hot dog
It's
is
a
this,
hot dog
Frankie?
hamburger. All right,
This is
shut
this
up.
is more complicated than a Chicago dog he's got going on
Which
here.
I imagine is a little tough to eat.
Yeah.
And at 60.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing, though. Maybe the Canadians toss like lettuce and all sorts of extra stuff on their hot dogs. 'Cause that's where he's at. That's where he's making this. He's cooking them.
Putting hot dogs in the barbecue now.
Okay, got it.
Cooking hot dogs.
He's cooking them. He's really wanting them to be fully cooked.
Hot dogs are ready.
Here we go.
Guys, I want you to eat 60 hot dogs at once.
All right.
Eat them all right now.
He's yelling so loud.
Hot dogs right now.
I can never not imagine the neighbors around him as he's filming this
They're
outside.
used to this. Without
They
a
love
doubt, used to it.
He's a sweet guy, so I wouldn't even mind him being my neighbor. Even if he got loud one time a day for his video to eat his fake hot
Like
dogs, I'd be
Frankie's
okay.
outside. He's doing 60 this time. It's going to be a while.
Here he goes. He's throwing him down. He's getting tired. Oh, almost.
I lost count.
I lost count too.
20, 21.
He's close. Oh, he's struggling. Right to the finish line. He is
Do you think
a
he
hard-working
counted
man.
60?
I think he might have because I stopped around 15 or so, and he's doubling them up, and I think he's counting them all. He's still got him going back.
I can't take it anymore. Eat 10 more hot dogs.
Oh, the finish line. How many views does this have on his Twitter? It's already got 6,000. He posted it a handful of minutes ago.
It's got 308. Oh, wait, no, that's his subscribers. Oh, it's only got 108 on YouTube.
I reposted him. I'll spread the love there, Frankie. I want to get that out there for you. He's living life.
I would love to
through-
see someone put an actual cart of hot dogs and see how he would react.
He could do. He might do okay.
I think they also have to have an ambulance nearby.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
think
eat
it's-
hot dogs that fast.
I think it's hard to do that. I think it's rough on the human body unless you're a professional. Once again, he takes a picture with a fan, right? There's
I
Frankie
saw this
McDonald.
girl this morning.
Taking a picture with a fan, and what does everybody say underneath? He says she is well over 20 years old.
I'm
because
sorry,
everybody, people always judge him. So they'll say she looks 19. Is she 18? Is she 18, Frankie? Is she 18, my man? And then he always says she's over 20 years old. He's just checking
Usually
it
a
out.
couple guys like, Frankie, leave some for the rest of us, man.
I also wonder, does he ask immediately before the picture? How old are you?
Are you 18? He probably does. He's got so many fans. That's great, man. How many followers does this guy got now? 171,000, kicking ass and taking names.
He has 308,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Hot damn.
Hell yeah.
Do you think his elderly aunt or grandmother he lives with has any idea what's going on in his life?
I know. Remember, his dad was working his way in for some time because his dad was in a
just had
band.
the music career, yeah.
Yeah, and his dad would have him kind of like helping him out and promote the band and whatnot. But Frankie McDonald's from Nova Scotia in Canada, and he does weather reports, dancing comedy, and he just looks at life through a fun lens. He just does, and I appreciate that much.
He's got his own Wikipedia page, that guy.
Good. He deserves it. He deserves it. Now, people finally took my advice. I've been doling out great advice for quite a long time. And I've told you how a lot of these places, cities in particular, can fix some of the problems they have. And finally, Los Angeles and Sacramento have decided to listen, at least a bit. Sacramento says they're going to be offering some help in the ongoing battle against copper theft in the state. Here's what happens when people are building new construction builds, or when they're redoing a house and they gut everything. There's copper in the walls of your house. The piping is often copper. That copper piping is worth a little bit of money. So people who are druggies, meth heads, etc., will generally break into these houses that are under construction. Once the copper has been put in, they will cut out all of the copper that they possibly can, and they will bring it to one of these recycling type places that will weigh it and then give them money. And
the recycling places just see a skitzed out, person that looks like they haven't slept in a couple weeks and go, oh, they're just bringing their some extra copper they have lying around.
They're helping with the earth.
And for that, we will give them monies.
Dave is here all the time. He must really just have a lot of copper, I guess. And I have been saying forever, these problems are, in the end, self-inflicted. When your city is full of rampant crime, it's self-inflicted. When your city is full of rampant homeless people, it's self-inflicted. At a point in time, you have decided to keep up failed policies and do them endlessly until all of the people who live in your city have suffered, and you make them suffer more and more when you can make a place better. And I said, all you have to do to stop the theft of catalytic converters and copper from these homes is make the people who buy them keep track of who they are buying them from and what they are purchasing. They do this with pawn shops and other places, and there's no reason why they couldn't, in one stroke of a pen, stop this entirely in entire states and across our country. No more catalytic converters being sawed off your vehicle in the middle of the night. No more people confronting somebody doing it and then getting in a shootout and dying as a result of it. No more people robbing houses that were being built and screwing up construction. No more of that. And Assemblymember Mark Gomez of Los Angeles has proposed Assembly Bill 476, which would require better record keeping regarding the purchase of scrap metal and other changes. These measures will increase transparency, discourage illicit sales, and ensure accountability through recycling and the resale process. So there you go. Finally, somebody trying to do this. Your cities don't need to be crap. They want them to be. They want them to be, or they're so inept that they have no ideas that will turn things around. This is happening all over the country. Local officials, your statewide officials, just absolutely letting you down in so many of these places. And it can be better. I don't know how many people got completely and totally red-pilled by the moment where Gavin Newsom decided, well, we got all these world leaders coming into town. Let's clean up the streets of San Francisco. And I'm not kidding you. It was like follow the yellow brick road. All the San Franciscans were hitting the streets and they're like, this is beautiful. Oh my God, the city is clean. They sprayed off all the crap on the streets. The homeless people are in some facility somewhere. Wow, this is a dream. We'll come back to work in San Francisco now. And everybody was over the moon. They were filming it like little kids on the first day of winter with the snowflakes coming down. Wow, look at this. It's a whole new world. And then, as soon as all the foreign dignitaries left, right back to Crapsville, right back to pooping on the sidewalk. They want you to live in these conditions. They don't care. They don't want to do anything about it until this. So they should be applauded, I think, when they do something right. And that sounds like a good idea and a way to improve things for people. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut, and Taylor to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on The Big Show, a Florida teacher gets sued for bullying a student into suicide. At 4, we'll do What You Do That's New. For trivia, it's Orlando City tickets and Metallica tickets. And we'll end up with It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth. Plus 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000 and your calls, text, and talk back.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, Central Florida, and happy Tuesday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson for the check of your forecast. And for today, we are going to be expecting a couple of hit-and-miss showers, mainly just before lunchtime, about a 10 to 20% chance of those. As we head over the course of this afternoon, though, we are going to be expecting drier conditions to unfold. Temperatures not as hot either, with highs right around the middle 80s for this afternoon. As we head throughout the rest of this week, though, we'll be expecting dry and hot conditions with temperatures nearing 90 by Friday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and we sell custom blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices. Our blinds are handcrafted to fit your windows, and if they don't, for any reason, we'll remake them for free. Your satisfaction is always guaranteed at Blindster.com.
Studies have shown that less than 20% of people compare the first mortgage quote they get. So, don't be a slacker. Get peace of mind right there at your fingertips by going to thatmortgageguydawn.com. You already have a mortgage quote, and if you're wondering if it's any good, stop wondering and work with That Mortgage Guy Dawn. It is so easy to compare your quote with him. Go to the website, thatmortgageguydawn.com, hit the button that says compare your quote, upload your quote, and That Mortgage Guy Dawn will let you know if it's any good. Simple as that. And if it's not any good, he's going to help you find the best deal. Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote today with That Mortgage Guy Dawn, an expert and a friend that you could trust.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with That Mortgage Guy Dawn.com.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Hi, my air conditioner isn't working.
We're hosting a pet rock adoption telethon.
Pet rocks?
The internet says they're endangered.
Rocks are everywhere.
You know what's everywhere?
Frank Gay is everywhere. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have AC problems, you need help now. One of our licensed and certified technicians can have your AC blowing cold air in no time. That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
Permanent injuries may not appear immediately after an accident. That's why the insurance company wants to settle with you quickly. They want you to sign away your claim before you even know the full extent of your injuries. Don't accept pennies on the dollar. Never sign anything until you speak with me. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Premier Men's Medical Center restores your sex life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate erectile dysfunction and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Premier Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see.
Go Mike, baby. Skull Mike Squad, I want to say it's been a pleasurable Tuesday spending time with you. I want to thank you for hanging out with us each day. I hope you enjoy yourself in some way. That's what drives me to continue doing this. If you would like to get in on the action on Game of Magnets, you can gift Secret Shows subs. It's an awesome way to support Secret Shows and the effort that I put in around here, certainly. Do that over at thenewsjunkie.com/gift. Every gifted sub is a magnet for you. We got some extra special goodies coming up along with that soon. We got to crown our chatter of the day. Who's our winner? I'll tell you who the winner is. Night Nurse from YouTube is our winner today. They said you couldn't do it, but here you are. You looked good today. Your chat messages were coming through loud and clear. I got Mega Chat working better, apparently, because YouTube was in all day long. Let's look at the upside here, huh? All right. Night Nurse sounds like a loser who's up at 4 a.m. No. And even the night nurse is done by then, right? Even the hospital should shut down at some point. If you die, you die. There should be a sleep period between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. where it's just whisper quiet, where nobody's doing anything. 2 minutes. AD said, I was hoping he wouldn't pick one so I could declare myself the winner. That is unofficial if you do it. That is unofficial. Now, what's brutal is I think I've picked Chatter of the Day like maybe a half dozen times now, and I don't know that we've had a single winner from Twitch. Is that true? Have we had any? Has Twitch ever won Chatter of the Day? Or do they have a goose egg there? I won the first one? Probably not, but that's okay. Twitch always has to be like the goth stepbrother at the family party. Twitch is always like, we don't really care if we win. We're just here to have a good time. YouTube, you people are terrible. Like, very, very much the goth kid. Mr. Predicto, will Fritz be able to make it on the show tomorrow for Fritz on the Street? What do we think? Or is it over?
It is a certainty.
Well, that's good. I hope that's true. This could be the last week. I don't know. They're still ironing stuff out with Fritz and what's happening with him and iHeart. So tomorrow, fingers crossed, hopefully. All right, here we go. Love you, everybody. Have a great day.
Having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Spring into deals with fresh savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 4 Stay Green or Premium 2 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. Lowe's, we help, you save. While supplies last, selection and availability vary by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Offer valid 4/17/25 to 4/30/25.
Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This
the show Tuesday, and we'd love for you to hang out with us more. You can always get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. That's one way to do things. Or we'll be here tomorrow, same time, same place, as I always say, carrying you through the day, finding out what's happening in the world, and just trying to find the fun in all of it whenever we can. Thank you for joining us today here on the show. Let's get into the final dispatches, the stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. You look very Stevie Wonder right now. You look
Thank you so much.
Sabrina's got she's rocking sunglasses at the finish line here.
Not just any old sunglasses.
Whose are they?
My sweet girlfriend got me the Meta Ray-Bans.
Oh, those are the ones with the camera in them?
Camera, and it's also AI inside your head.
What does the AI do? Like you ask whatever questions and it answers you through the glasses?
Yeah, so I'm like, Meta,
Wow.
I have the Spanish script in front of me. Can you translate it for me? And now I'm recording a video. And I don't know what to do with myself, but I did our whole morning meeting with it, and their speakers, wherever they're positioned, it's like inside your head, man.
Does it sound cool?
Yeah, and very
that's
clear.
Nice.
Do you see anything, or is it just recording and hearing stuff?
Just recording and hearing. But then I can see it on my phone. And I had to give permission to Meta for everything, so.
Oh, damn.
Bye-bye identity and all my contacts identity.
She just sold the whole show to Meta.
It's
My
over.
bad.
Yeah, well, it's fine. It's worth it. With the new technology is always cool. So here we go. Let's do the final dispatch.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play.
That's true. Thank you to our house band. We don't know what their name is, but they are here every day to play that song
Isn't
for
that
you.
just the intern?
Weiler Tyler, he might have put that together. It's always hard to tell. Here's the last one. Who are we going to pick? Here's Dr. Rob talking about working at 4.
Good afternoon, junkies. Hey, Sean, many years ago, I used to start my day driving at around 4:30 in the morning, heading to North Florida, and I started my day listening to this radio show called The News Junkie at 5 a.m. You run from 5 to 6. We're not all losers out here, buddy.
Yeah.
Some of us are making a living.
Guess what?
Okay.
I've completely forgotten about all of that time. I've washed it out of my memory entirely.
It's easy.
Far too early. Yeah, I don't want it anymore. You're going to get out with the old memories and in with the new, I figured. So that'll have to do it today. Let's get the hell out of here. Here we go. You'll remember this, maybe. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. Today I Learned this cartoon.
Batman, Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, that's right. Scrappy-Doo, widely considered to be one of the most hated characters in fiction, has not appeared in an animated Scooby-Doo production since 1988 due to the audience backlog. They don't like him. They don't like him.
I was in the live-action one.
I would like to see Scrappy-Doo and Slowpoke in one thing together. The two of them might be
Cocaine
a
will be
cool-
involved without a doubt.
Yeah, Scrappy-Doo seems like he's up to something for sure. I definitely see that. And finally, friends, the song with the strange title. Here today, I learned this band.
Sublime.
Sublime, that's correct. Isn't the song called like April 29th, but he says April 26th? Or
Yeah,
is it the other way around?
he flubs, but they liked the take so much that they didn't redo it.
Oh, that's
They just
fun.
kept it in there. Sublime's self-titled album was originally going to be called Killing It, but that name was deemed inappropriate on account of the lead singer dying of a heroin overdose 2 months before it was released.
They
so
just
they
released
changed it.
the new song from them, and it sounds just like him, that
I
kid
know.
of his.
It's crazy how good that kid's voice is. All right, we're going to be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Missing the show? Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com.